I don't know anything about UFC, and even I know that's like an automatic illegal disqualification. You don't need to be a brainiac to know that. Like it's no different than like someone punching someone in the NBA in midst of a game. You know they're gonna get teed up and thrown out. Like so it's pretty crazy still that we're still going on with this in 2025. These refs just can't figure out the most basic of basic stuff.
Well, Dan, yesterday I watched the Red Sox during the day, and I got to tell you, beautiful field in San Francisco. The view there on a beautiful Saturday afternoon, right on the water right there.
It's a beautiful park.
I felt it. Like, I was like, man, taking in a day game in San Francisco must be something.
I agree.
Like that just...
I think even like an early evening game would be great there. Like a 4 or 5 o'clock start would probably be great.
What about if you and I grabbed some kayaks, and Jeff, who's here today, the three of us got our own kayaks.
I'd be all
and
about that.
Just hung out in McCovey Cove.
I'm all about that. I love the vitamin D. Give it to me in the sun.
Oh, that's right.
Give it to me. I'll gladly do
Now,
that.
your feet won't be on land, though, Dan.
That's okay. I'm okay being in a kayak, man.
The one thing I noticed of working with you now, Dan, think about how many shows and podcasts you and I have done together where, we didn't know if people were listening.
Yep.
And then we would look at, like, podcast numbers and be like, holy crap, people are listening to us.
A ton of people, yep.
Right? And then now we do a show... And you are no longer doing the Saturday show, but you're still a part of our cast. And on Sundays they say, hey, go work with Joe.
Yep.
And so yet on Sundays when you're here, because you're not here as much as you used to be, it is must listen to radio.
Apparently, I mean. I don't know, because apparently the morning show loves to do segments about whatever we talk about the next day.
Like,
have doctors on to prove or disprove what we say.
Well, listen, Dan. Honestly, I mean this in sincerity. I think they do it because we used to be a part of the morning show, and I think now that we've branched off a little bit, they like to check in every once in a while.
I think it's...
so I look at it as somewhat of a compliment sometimes.
Oh, no. Look, in all fairness, I think it's fun. I won't go on the show anymore, but I think it's fun. But I have no problem with using content. Look, they have a show to do. They got to get content out of it. I'm totally fine with it.
Okay,
I just think it's funny. That's all.
Yeah, I mean it is
a little comical.
It is funny. Yeah. I like when I have somebody on the phone and I'm asking them questions, and then they say, "I got to let you go, man." Like that is funny. I will say that that's a funny bit.
I agree.
Jeff, you perked up when I talked about Dan being Sunday morning muscle.
No, it just reminded me of like one of my favorite like stories. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this actually. Now I have you both here. But before gambling was legal in Mass, I would drive up to New Hampshire to place my bets on DraftKings. And I'll never forget being parked in a, a rest area, rolling down my windows and hearing the faint sounds of you two in the background. Everybody was listening to you guys while they were placing their bets. Everybody was doing the same thing.
No, I can confirm. This isn't a flex. I can confirm this. We had people that would call in and be like, "Hey, I'm going up to the border, man. I'm stopping at the the Bob's in Salem on 28. Can you
give me something to bet? I need something to bet.
I need something, please."
Yep.
And I'd be like, "Wow, man, you really have to go to New Hampshire. You have to like get a takeout order at T-Bone's in order to like put in a bet."
You're really going local there, Joe.
Like the loop's not close enough, Jeff. You got to keep going.
No, that's in Methuen.
You got to keep going a little bit more. No, that's true. We used to have people legitimately being like, "Hey, man, can you guys get to the picks a little bit earlier today? Because
I got to get up to New Hampshire and get back before my wife gets pissed."
No, it's true. And then other people used to tell me they would buy cigarettes. That was what they did. They'd get up at 7 a.m. They would just take a ride to Nashua. They'd get cigarettes. It was like 45 minutes there and 45 minutes back.
Yep.
So they would just drive there and then smoke the whole way back. And that was their every day. They'd wake up, put their bets in, get their smokes, and start their day. No, it was. Listen, we gotta appreciate that because
I have no problem. I love it, dude. I loved it. It was we had a lot of fun doing that for a while.
Well, and also like there was no real like right way to do it. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like, hey, how about that game last night, Dan? And then those refs and the wrangle, and But no, I will never. Jeff's right. There were people that would hang out at the rest stop or go up to New Hampshire and literally be like, "I need your bets now." Like I don't. I'm leaving. We're heading back. Then it became legal, and then it just and then not for nothing. And this is not a shot. It's just fact. Now that it's become legal and everyone's bet, and they got all the new users, they left. they're going to everywhere else now that is having legalized gambling.
There's a couple states that are like planning on incoming in the next 4 or 5 years, and they've already, like, from what I've heard, a bunch of these places, not necessarily DraftKings, just general, they've already like designated like pre-spending like marketing money to get them in. So
I get it.
Oh, 100%. I get it too. I mean, obviously you don't love it, but like I totally get it.
Yeah.
You know,
I just grew up in a world, Dan, where when nobody else is advertising, it's probably the best time to advertise.
100%.
What do I do?
100%. I mean, so I'll say this for like in terms of like a sports book, like obviously DraftKings, FanDuel have the most market share. If I'm like MGM or Caesars or someone, I'm like ramping up my marketing in a state like Massachusetts where you have a ton of users who aren't still using your product and are using DraftKings FanDuel, because guess what? Eventually they're going to get upset about something that one of those books does, because everyone naturally does. They injury or whatever, they want to cancel bet, and guess what? They'll go to the next book that they hear. 100%.
Do you know what I would look at though is I've been using a lot of other things, such like I do like Underdog a lot.
Yep.
There was one that I've been that and again, these are like more like algorithms for your bets, like something to say, hey, based off the last week, we feel like this is a good play for the day. The Sleeper app is another. I'm just saying there are other like alternatives outside of betting apps.
Prize Picks.
Prize Picks is and then, listen, they're spending. They're spending.
I got banned on Prize Picks for like a couple months. Yeah.
So I know of them, and I see people out. Hey, go to Prize Picks.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do though.
It's daily fantasy. It's okay. The same as Underdog, and I had I did very, very well, and not my own stuff. I did not originate my own stuff on Prize Picks. I was following someone who did it, because I'm absolutely awful at just like originating my own props. I don't do that. I'm just not good at it, honestly, with the exception of maybe the WNBA and some MLB stuff. But outside of that, I can't originate anything in terms of props. And I was following a dude, and he was just absolutely on fire, and I probably racked up a pretty high bill on Prize Picks, and they completely banned me, and I had to like contact like 40 different people to get my money withdrawn. They like suspended my withdrawals. It was ridiculous.
This is probably a discussion for another day, what you're talking about.
100%.
But it is fact that if you are successful on some of these apps, they do almost, I don't want to say, I'm not using the word ban. I'm not using the word ban.
No, you won't. No, they will unsuspend your account eventually. They'll just ask you either A, not to play for a while, or whatever. Like, I'm no longer banned there. Yes, like I can play again.
What's another word we can use for ban?
No,
they can control betting. Limiting
is what.
Got it.
Yeah. Slightly different than what's going on in New Hampshire right now, which we should talk about.
Yeah. Let's save it for later.
Yeah,
my point is that it is real. Like, it's not a flex of, oh, I've won so much money, they banned me. No, there are people who might even win like a couple of $100, and they just say, all right, you're limited.
It has nothing to do with the fun thing about being limited. It has absolutely nothing to do with how much money you're winning. It has to do with the type of bets you're putting in. So when you say like, oh, I made like a tweet the other day, like was joking about the place I am actually banned from. I am not allowed to step into the premises of the place in New Hampshire, which we can talk about, Joe. But because of that, it's not because I took them for $1 bajillion. It's because I was getting too much what's called CLV, closing line value, which means you beat the line by too much. And if you're consistently beating lines, which means that you are ahead of the market.
So like betting an opening line or a look-ahead line,
correct.
Something
so like
to that degree?
If I bet the WNBA, like the Aces, like +7, and they closed like -2, which happened the other night, and then they ended up losing by 7. Like that is what's called closing line value. CLV is what it's known as, and that is what really will get you suspended or limited or banned or
just to use Bet Online for an example.
BOL. They do not limit bettors.
So if you wanted to bet, like there was Rafael Devers props for the weekend.
Yep.
And I think I'll get you his home run odds. But
I bet him for a home run game one. Did not bet him yesterday. I'm very upset I did not do that.
But there were odds, and I think our internet's down now. There were odds
for him. They had a home run in the series.
Yeah, and it hit yesterday.
Was it plus 105 or something? Like that?
Yeah, but so there's no limit on that. Even the wrestling bets.
Well, okay, no. There are limits to the max bet that you can bet. Like there are limits. I'm just saying, like as a winning bettor, there are certain places you will not get limited no matter what you bet. Like certain offshore books will not limit you no matter what you bet. Again, same thing with Circa in Las Vegas. Same concept. Like they will not limit you no matter what you bet. However, a lot of the legal recreational books, DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars, MGM, et cetera, those places will limit you severely depending on what you bet.
Yeah, like there are some. Yeah. I've used apps
like again,
$25 on it, and it's like that's it.
Yep. I mean, which is ridiculous because some people, Joe, on that same type of bet will have $200,000 limits, and then some people will have $25 limits. And the problem and what the MGC, which I will actually applaud them for this, has been trying to make those limits fair. I don't know if they're going to be successful, if they're actually going to push it through, but it's been something they've at least discussed more than any other state in the country, which I think is, we should at least thank them for trying to make it seem like they're trying to be fair at least.
Well, we should do a segment called Bankrolled. Okay. It means you got bankrolled.
Okay.
Like,
what is
you
that?
You either got rolled or you something to do with money and getting rolled.
Okay, well, we should.
I put that on the docket because here's what I wanted to bring up was you said it was that what was it was called closing line
value,
CLV.
CLV, yes.
Did you hear about? There's a 50-cent tax on bets now in other states?
Yes.
Let's save that. I'm just saying I'm teasing this segment, that and other betting stuff. And by the way, speaking of bets, there's a Game 7 tonight.
Yes, there is.
And I want to get into it, A, their game, but B, when the series opened, remember we discussed?
Yep.
It opened at like 900, let's say. Then it quickly went down to like 700, right?
Yep.
To use that as a kind of simple numbers, the line for Game 7 opened at 9 and got bet down to about 7. Let's just use the same number.
Yep.
I know it's different books.
I think it's 7.5, but
yep.
Whatever.
But do you see what I mean? Is like it's that's how it started. This is how it ends.
No, it's 7. You're right. Yeah.
And I just I took over 5.5, so I'm a happy man.
I took -1.5, so I'm not. Just give you an idea. That was the only, and it was a very small bet in the series. I thought that Oklahoma City would be a horrendous defensive matchup for Indiana, and this team is just. I mean, they're just way better than people give them credit for.
Is Pascal Siakam the Thunder taker?
Ooh, interesting.
Tell me you like that one, Jeff.
Kind of like how Jalen Brunson is the Celtic killer, like that.
The Thundertaker. Who would have thought Pascal Siakam could be that guy?
He's been phenomenal.
He has.
Even with Halliburton being up and down throughout the entire series, he's been absolutely phenomenal.
All right, well, we got a lot of stuff on the table today. Dan Lifshatz is here. If you're on your way to get a pack of smokes in New Hampshire, feel free to call in at 617-779-0985. Gabe in West Roxbury is on the line. Gabe, how was your wedding, bud?
It was great, Joe. I sent you a couple pictures in the DMs. Just wanted to thank you this week for just listening to my mumble jumble about, God, I got a wedding this week. I messed up. I got to get something. So
well, hit me up.
I just had to call in.
Just so people know, Greg hit me up, said, hey, I got a wedding this week. Gabe hit me up. Sorry, I said Greg. He hit me up and goes, hey, and I said, hey, there's a couple options here. There's this, there's that. You call Mr. Say, yeah, there's a bunch of things you can do.
Yep.
And he got off his ass and he did it.
Nice.
You were going to procrastinate, weren't you, Gabe?
Oh, I was. Oh, man. And I didn't even think about the tailored aspect.
Oh, yeah.
And thank God I got a guy who did it overnight for me. Men's warehouse place. They said it would take a week. So
yeah, no, you're right.
I got off. It was great. It was on the seaport, on the water, beautiful. It was awesome.
Did your betting apps work on the seaport?
Wait, what?
Did your betting apps work on the seaport?
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
I thought I was looking at John Henry's boat during the yacht.
I'm surprised you would schedule it during a UFC event, Gabe. Knowing you and how much you love the UFC, I'm surprised that you would schedule your wedding during a UFC event. Come on, Gabe. Like that's rookie 101.
No, not right my there. Wedding. My best friend's wedding.
Oh, okay. It was your best friend. I thought it was your wedding. Okay, yeah. Sorry for misunderstanding.
No,
okay.
Oh God.
No, real quick. Gabe, what happened with?
I wouldn't be married if I waited till the last day to get a suit for my wedding.
That's true.
So,
fair enough.
What's up with Jon Bones Jones, man? Why'd he hang it up?
Oh, it's garbage. I just saw a tweet about charges against him. Nothing big or anything in Albuquerque. So something's going on. He's done this multiple times. He doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall, who is now the
defunct
undisputed heavyweight champ. And he didn't want to fight the young kid. I mean, Jones is older. He probably could win in a decision, but I just see like he's older. And what does Bones have to win or win? You know, like if he wins, it's like okay, yeah, he's the GOAT. Like, but if he loses, it's like yeah, he shouldn't have done a kind of. He's not past his prime. It is stupid, but I wouldn't put money on it that we won't see him. We'll see him again in UFC. At least once, I'll say that.
Okay, we'll see. Oh, I didn't mean to hang up.
I think that he was kicked out. Personally, I think that there was that there's clearly something going on behind the scenes there, and they basically said, "Well, you can either retire or we can, do something."
I'll make the case here, Dan. He might arguably be the best mixed martial artist of all time.
I don't think it's that arguable. I think he is.
Okay, I was just trying to make the arguably.
And again, I don't follow the sport religiously. I'm not a diehard by any sort of means. So if you have a different opinion, please feel free. I'm not dying on this hill, But I think from my perspective, and yes, I pay enough attention to it that yes, in my opinion, he is.
I was just trying to give the arguably as a. Feel free to argue it.
Sure. Yeah. No. Feel free.
I don't know. Like George St. Pierre was great, but
yeah.
And by the way, like of the Jones family, like Arthur Jones was a good defensive. I think he won a championship with the Colts. Chandler Jones, I know he had some mental illness. I'll use that term.
Yep.
He if you look at his sack numbers compared to J.J. Watt, which I know they're not the same player. I'm not doing that.
Right.
Just looking at the sack numbers, which probably shows sometimes sacks are a little overrated. They're very close. Very, very close to Hall of Fame numbers.
I mean, he was a phenomenal defensive lineman. Like, regardless of the stuff that he went through here and in Arizona, whatever, he was a phenomenal player. Like, you can't really argue that. He was a great draft pick and a phenomenal player.
Somehow, some way, Jon Bones Jones was the best of the three.
I agree. No doubt.
With however many games, fights he's missed, or time he's missed, and controversies, and whatever. We still here today are like, no, that guy's a bad man.
100%.
You know what? Maybe WWE? Jeff. Jon Bones Jones in WWE?
Ooh, that would make sense.
It's absolutely going to happen.
There you go.
I don't know if he can I'm using the word choreograph. Can he do that?
Yeah, he'd be extra stiff, I'm sure.
Could he, not kick somebody in the face and hurt them? Like, Brock Lesnar still hurt people. He wasn't Goldberg status, but, Anyways. All right, we're late.
Shocker. Shocker.
Whatever.
We're always late.
It's a Sunday. We're having fun. You're with us. People getting cigarettes. Some guy already told me he smoked up before the show and he's all ready to go. We're here too as well.
I'm wearing a smoked up shirt.
Yeah, Dan is wearing a very cool shirt today. You got to go see it on our
15
YouTube.
years ago. This is a fit from 15 years ago. It's old.
That shirt fits you from 15 years ago, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, not a lot of my stuff fits from 15 years ago.
Well, I'm
trying.
It's still a little tight on me.
No, it looks good.
It's a little tight. Nah, I wish the man boobies are out. It's a little tight.
What do they call that again? What did you got? Man boobs? I heard Felger read the ad for it. Something about.
Couldn't tell you.
Anyways.
Couldn't tell you. It's all my knowledge base.
Something Castania or something. Anyways, let's go to break. Dan Lifshatz is here. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. the dice with piles. Roll the dice with piles. And if you got the funds, you can come with us. Yeah, you know the bankroll boys are wild. Bankroll boys are wild. And my bankroll boys are up. 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 We only come around to get paid. We go all in until it's all made. We're big ballers in this game. If you know the bankroll boys, then you know that we're paid. And my bankroll boys are up. 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 I go all in on everything. You know I go all in. You know I go all in. I go all in.
All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You know I go.
That's crazy, man.
So, our pre-production meeting was 30 seconds in the hallway. Crank it. Oh, a breakdown.
Oh, I like yeah.
So, AI is very big. Artificial intelligence. I have an app that you can use whatever type of music you want and type in lyrics. So I typed in, what did I type in? Bankroll boys? Bets? What was that? I think that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't even put Joe or Dan in there.
No, you didn't.
And this is what it made.
I know what I'm doing for my the new podcast. I'm absolutely making a song through AI. Why put in the work? I can just do it on the app for 30 seconds.
But if we were at the club, here we go, Jeff. Crank it up, baby.
Bankroll boys out.
I mean, it's a little
Would it
bit
be
of
like this?
it's a little bit of a banger. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a banger.
Song of the summer.
It is. I mean, do you think we get Joe to sing this one?
Oh, absolutely. You both
100%.
have to sing this.
Said my bankroll
Dude, you don't want to hear me
boys
sing,
up.
okay?
No.
You hear my voice, right?
No, Dan. Remember when we did It Wasn't Me?
I know, yeah.
Jeff, I don't know if you can find it. Just look up Bankroll Boys Wasn't Me. I don't know if it's in the system somewhere. But this was when it was a crease. If you remember the one. But it was
This is legitimately a legit banger.
the Bankroll Boys are up. And then they used the word all in.
Yep.
You know I go all in.
Yeah, you go all in, baby.
You know I go all in.
That was 3 minutes of just
That's
beautiful.
That's unreal.
Can you just start it one more time, Jeff? Because I kind of liked the beginning.
My bankroll boys get wild.
Yeah.
We only roll the dice with piles. Roll the dice with piles. And if you got the funds, you can come with us. Yeah, you know the bankroll boys are wild. Bankroll boys are wild. And my bankroll boys are up.
It's kind of like a mix of Shabuzi and Post Malone.
My bankroll boys are up.
I can see that.
My bankroll boys are up. My bankroll boys are up.
Yeah. You're at the club like this. You gonna get paid.
All in until it's all made.
All right. Well, let's.
I mean, it's pretty good, man.
Should we
I'm
make
not
another? Again, the one that I sent Skaz, which we could play if you want to. I typed in Joe Show, Skaz, food, farts, musings. In or out?
What's with the I'm sure the farts. You just love the farts part. Just sure he just is obsessed with that part. All about it.
Oh, God.
So funny.
Yeah, so Wayno is giving me credit for writing this.
I mean, you know what? Sure, why not?
Sure, let's do it.
Why not?
All right. Hey, the phone number here is 617. Before we get into any takes, why don't we just talk to the people?
Let's do it.
Let's start with Lenny in the car. Lenny!
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey.
What's going on?
So, just want to talk to you a little about Tatum and the Celtics plan. So, everyone I'm hearing is let's blow it up, let's retool. There's no Tatum. Let's trade this guy. Let's trade that guy. the Celtics this offseason are in a precarious position here because from all indications that I've read, Tatum is progressing well. So do you think they're going to go into the season making moves based on the possibility of him coming back, or they know, in fact, they're not going to let him come back and they'll make moves just to, get under the apron and, make sure everything is set for the next year? I think they should keep the core together, and hopefully he comes back by the end of the season, gets a month in, and put him in the playoffs. Just want to see what you guys think and what the Celtics' direction should be.
Good question, Dan. What do you think, Dan?
I mean, personally, I would not be rushing someone like Tatum back. I would probably give him the full year. I don't think that if you're being realistic about where this team is, even a month of basketball isn't going to be enough for that guy to kind of figure it out. Being realistic about them, they're not winning next year, and it should be a reset year. And I know we've obviously heard the reports from Shams saying, teams are making crazy offers for Jaylen Brown and Derek White. I don't think they'll be traded. I think personally, and I think they ultimately will. It's just guessing, no source or anything, but I think they should trade Derek White. I think it makes all the sense in the world that you trade a guy at his peak value, because again, when Tatum comes back, it's probably not going to be next year. It's probably going to be, realistically the year afterwards. At least that's the way I would view it from everything that's gone on in the Achilles stuff. It would probably be realistic that, it's 26, 27. I want to have that team be ready or close to being ready to have the pieces to compete. And if you trade White this offseason, you're going to be able to, reload next offseason if you have the pieces. But they just don't have a ton. Not to mention, they have to cut salary. It's going to happen. The new owner is going to come in. They're not going to pay this ridiculous tax bill. So Porzingis is probably out the door in some capacity. Drew Holiday is probably out the door in some capacity. They talked about Sam Hauser too, which I think would be a mistake. But whatever, either way, they're going to have to get rid of some of these guys. It's just that's the way it's going to be, Joe. And so I think if you're being realistic about where this team is going to be next year, you have to be honest, and you probably start after thinking about loading up for the 26-27 offseason. That's the way that I would approach it, and I would move on from Derek White because I think he is an incredibly valued piece that you're probably selling at the peak of his value right now. And there's no one else I want in that situation other than Brad Stevens, because I think Stevens does such a good job in those type of situations, buying low, finding value. But I also think that he could probably be a very good GM and selling high. We haven't ultimately seen that yet, but I trust the way that Brad Stevens has done business. So that would be my approach is, hey, we're going to be very quiet about it, but we are going to potentially look into moving Derek White. We got to move Porzingis. We got to move Holiday for, financial reasons. You are now, regardless of who the owner is, the Celtics are owned by a PE firm. Okay? That is the reality of the situation.
Yeah, and the Lakers got sold this week.
Yep. Again, we also have a track record of that ownership group spending gobs of money.
True, and it's working.
There is no track record of this PE firm, and it's not one guy. Don't tell me Bill Chisholm is the owner. He's not. It's the PE firm that owns Bill Chisholm.
The other owner,
that's the real owner.
The other owner is big into building, and the biggest issue for the Celtics is that they don't own the building. And where does their income come from? Right?
I agree.
As far as the question about Tatum, Tatum's from Torrey Craig posted a video this week. Tatum's in good spirits. I guess he was not great for a while. He's upset. He wasn't with the team. They lost. It was disappointing.
Yep.
But I guess he's in good spirits now. He's been actually at the gym. I don't think he's working out or anything. But people need to know, though, that they don't have to be under the tax until really, end of the season, something to that degree? So,
you want to do it as early as possible, because if you're too late on it,
then you'll pay a double to.
Well, not only that, but then you also can't make trades in the middle of the season. So you realistically want to be under earlier than later.
Yeah, the only way they can make a trade right now is if it has to be a 3-team trade because they're over the apron. There was a rumor, Dan.
Well, no, they can make a direct 1-for-1 as long as they are not gaining money.
Exactly, they'd have to take less money back.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah. There's. I'm not going to use the word rumor, but there has been discussions about the Celtics moving on from 3 players, Porzingis, Holiday, Hauser, and Kevin Durant coming to the Celtics in return. It's the only way they can make the trade and get under the tax or the second apron. So they'd be in the first apron. I don't know how I feel about the Durant thing, but he's your 20 points a game without Tatum if you want to keep this thing going. So I don't know if I like the move, Dan. He was reported around the deadline that he had interest in going to Boston. Durant.
Yeah. Yep. And the Knicks.
Yes. Which now the Knicks seem to be out of the equation here right now because they need a coach. Would you do that? Would you move on from right now Holiday, Porzingis, and Hauser? In return, in a 3-team deal, you get the Celtics receive Kevin Durant, and they're under the second apron.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It wouldn't even cross my mind for the easiest deal you accept immediately. But that, again, being realistic, I don't think that will ever happen. The return will have to be pretty. I mean, it won't be massive, but it will have to be pretty strong nonetheless.
Just so you know, what it would be is some sort of Porzingis to Phoenix, Drew Holiday to Sacramento, Durant to Boston, and a lot of moving pieces.
Yep.
The Spurs thing, I don't think so. The Spurs have strong interest in Jaylen Brown and Derek White. I don't think the Celtics are moving Jaylen Brown. I don't. Derek White, you're right. They can get the most for him right now.
Again, I'm not even advocating for it. I'm just saying if you're being realistic about what Brad Stevens has done so far with his tenure, he has bought players at low value and then moved them out. I mean, Richardson is a perfect example, right? Moved Richardson in the Derek White trade, bought low on Richardson, then moved him at a higher value in the Derek White trade, and made him a legitimate piece, obviously. Stevens has been extremely competitive in gaining value. I mean, again, Celtics loading up in second-round picks when they realized the value of those second-round picks compared to the rest of the league, and I think they were kind of a couple steps ahead on that. Being realistic about it, Joe, I think that they are a team that I would personally trust to do this sort of stuff. So, yes, I believe that the Celtics will probably end up making a bunch of these, a bunch of moves and probably be more active than people think. I don't think they're going to make the Kevin Durant trade. I don't think they're going to go out and get a whole bunch of pieces. I think they're going to try and, load up a little bit, buy low on some of these guys. Probably end up having to sell low on KP and Holiday. And I think that they'll prep themselves for next offseason. I think that that's exactly what they should do.
All right. We'll continue the conversations today. Mike's in Rockland. Mike.
Hey, boys. I got a article from the Albuquerque Journal. I don't know how honest of a publication that is, but essentially it breaks down everything that happened with Jon Jones. Sounds like cops find a car crashed. There's a woman in it with no pants. They say, who's driving the car? She says, Jon Jones. They call him, and then he threatens violence to them. So might have something to do with his retirement. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would not surprise me.
That dude did not want to give up the title to, and now I'm missing the guy's name. So basically, he retires, Dan, and he's just no longer the champion. They give it to somebody else.
Yep.
I don't know how that happened. So yeah, listen, this guy's a habitual line stepper. I don't know how else to say it.
There is no other way to say it.
There is no other. And you know what? I will tell you this. The guy is fascinating. You want to talk about a polarizing figure? I need more on this one. I need more. And the thing is there are people probably listening right now like Jon Jones, like to the casual fan, I think you should know who he is. But this guy, he is probably the most talented at what he does. And never any opportunity he got, he dominated.
He just loves screwing things up, man. That's what he did. He just can't help himself.
So Aspinall is the new heavyweight champion. All right, we'll take a quick break. Dan Lifshatz is here. I'm Joe Murray. Let's get a take on Devers, Dan. Let's do that next on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
All right, back here 98.5 The Sports Hub. It's Joe Murray, Dan Lifshatz. Rafael Devers homered yesterday. The odds to homer in the series plus 150 bet online.
Got it.
So I'm sure the number was whatever.
So I bet his over hits and bases game one, and little slip on the homer, and of course he didn't do anything. And I only bet his hits yesterday and not his homers yesterday by accident. So that was super fun to see.
Well, Dan,
I suck.
We have we'll stretch it out a little bit more in the next segment here, but who do you blame in the Rafael Devers fiasco that happened in the end, a surprising trade to the San Francisco Giants?
I blame the Red Sox 100%. I mean, obviously Devers acted like I can't use the word I want to say. He acted like an a-hole for a good portion of it. I want to defend here and tell him, sit here and say like, oh wow, Rafi was a really good guy and it wasn't his fault at all. That's not the case. He was an a-hole through it, and he should have done what the Red Sox asked. But the reality is, they're the ones who ruined the relationship. They're the ones who, instead of being transparent with him, like, hey, we think we're gonna do this, but we don't know, and we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. He's our third baseman. Oh, no, just kidding. We're going to sign Alex Bregman. Look, just be realistic and be transparent, man. You may suck. People may not like it, or at least tell them, like, hey, there's a realistic chance we're going to try and bring in Bregman here. What are your thoughts on this? You're our third baseman. We really want your input on this. You're the highest paid player on the team. You're our best hitter. What are your thoughts here? I think that conversation probably changes everything, but they didn't do that. They lied about it or weren't truthful about it at the time, and now here we are. And now you've traded your best player for an incredible subpar package of players. Kyle Harrison, I know he was rated a top 25 prospect last year, whatever. He's fine. He could be a mid-rotation arm for you. At least I think he could be a mid-rotation arm. He's a good player, but
Sorry, I'm playing with the AI.
I can tell. But in reality, the other prospects they got, like Tibbs is a good prospect, he's a first round pick. But in reality, they didn't get nearly the package they should have gotten for a guy like Rafael Devers, who's locked up for a long time. And the Giants had conversations about him playing different. They didn't do well in the trade. That's the reality. And I take it back to what the Red Sox again used to do with Manny Ramirez, where they used to jerk around Manny Ramirez because Manny was an a-hole, and 100%. What did the Red Sox do with Manny Ramirez? They won games. They won World Series. They won titles.
He was the MVP of the World Series.
Okay, so, and yes, Manny was an a-hole, but Manny had won. I get it. Slightly different there. But nonetheless, they won games. So I love Matt McCarthy with all my heart. I am a huge Matt McCarthy fan. But I heard Matt say yesterday, that guy's a poison. You can't win with that guy. Can't you say the same thing about Mo Vaughn, Matt, your favorite player of all time?
Never won with him.
Okay, but they won.
Him and Canseco went 0 for 27 in the playoffs.
Okay, but they won games with him.
Oh, they did win. He won an MVP.
Manny
too.
Ramirez,
yes.
a-hole. They won multiple World Series with him. You win World Series with talented guys, a-holes or not. This is not football. This is not the NBA. All those guys are a-holes in the NBA. Seriously. Kurt Schilling, another perfect example. That guy is a D-bag. He's my favorite pitcher of all time. Off the field, complete and utter D-bag, whatever. Yeah, you won games with that guy. Josh Beckett, there's a lot of stuff. How many things have we heard about Josh Beckett off the field?
John Lackey.
You win games with a-holes in baseball. This is not like a complex thing or something that's new. That happens all the time. The Yankees won with Alex Rodriguez, a-hole, whatever you want to say. Come on, guys. This is ridiculous. So you're upset that a guy was being a diva? Isn't Michael Felger the guy who sat here for a million years and said, bring me the a-hole, and now we want to ship all the a-holes out of town? What happened to this town? That's my question. What happened to you guys? You guys all of a sudden hate good players because they act like a-holes. That's what they do. Not everyone's DeAndre Hopkins. Not every single person's Larry Fitzgerald. You got to get, I know across sports, whatever. You got to get over that.
No, we can do that on
You got to get,
do you know what?
Not everyone's David Ortiz. Get over it.
Do you know who I thought was an a-hole this year?
Who?
Brad Marchand.
Yeah, a-hole. just want to Stanley Cup. That whole Florida Panthers team is loaded with a-holes.
Oh, yeah.
Loaded with them.
Yes.
Those guys are complete and utter D-bags. off the ice. They won back-to-back titles now. Why all of a sudden has this town become, oh, we don't like that? When does that become a thing in this town? Why is that a thing now?
It's a good question. This Dan saying all this reminds me of the Mount Rushmore of a-holes of my lifetime. It starts with Vince McMahon was bad. Bill Cosby. There's a lot of them, Dan. And it's funny because they're all from our childhood. Diddy. There's a lot.
He's above that level. I just want to make that very clear. He's above that level.
But just
Joe.
the people that we loved.
He's
we're
just
all
effed up in all sorts of different ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I read this week that he had a nice little breed. Never mind.
Yeah. Nope. Don't want to call from Rick or Jim. Don't want to do it. Nope.
No.
Oh, but like seriously, man, I don't.
You're right.
I don't understand when this has happened.
How couldn't they manage this better? Let's get into this on the other side. We'll stay on track.
Sure.
We don't want any phone calls. That was me. I have done segments of Mount Rushmore of a-holes, and I just realized that, like Hulk Hogan, my whole life, everybody was just a giant a-hole.
Dude, like it's just great. Like, do you guys hate Kevin Garnett now? Like that goes Ray Allen. The things that Kevin Garnett used to say on the court. Remember the Charlie Villanueva?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, a-hole. Like now you guys don't want those guys. Make up your effing mind. When did the city become so soft about sports? You guys are a bunch of pansies about your athletes and the guys you want now. Oh, Rafael Devers wouldn't play first base. Let's trade him. Where? Like, are you serious, dude? Grow up. He's the best hitter in the lineup and has been for some time. All of a sudden, you guys don't want him. Dude, seriously, like, sack up. It's ridiculous.
All right. Sack up hour. 617-779-0985. The chat is bumping. We have over 140 people in there, Dan.
They hate me.
Well, they're sending me photos of lobsters, and no, everybody is kind of in.
Oh wow, okay, that's like
people are like, "Where's this talk been for a while?"
Yeah.
So,
and I don't want to be too mean.
And now the phone calls are like,
I love Matt. I love Matt. I heard him say that, guys. No, that's not a thing. Like the Philadelphia Eagles were this close to winning with Terrell Owens. Like poisons in locker rooms, like. Jeez, guys, these are grown men.
Should I do an AI song about a-holes?
I'd be very careful about that topic. If you type in a-hole.
I can just play Dennis Leary's song.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I could just do an AI song about sack up. Hey, Boston, sack up.
When it comes to athletes, please make that very clear. We're gonna get in trouble with all the political people today if we're not very careful about what you put.
Yeah, today's the day for that.
When you put in the AI machine, Joe. Seriously.
All right. Well, let's go to break. Stay on time. This hour of the Sports Hub has been brought to you by our good friends over at John Sewer and Drain Cleaning. With over 50 trucks on the road because your clogged drain is their emergency, go to johnsewer.com. I'm Joe Murray. Dan Lifshatz is telling everybody to sack up here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray.
Giants' Rafael Devers hit a home run. It was the difference in the game. Brian Bayo, though, another strong outing for him. Sox again on the mound today. Lucas Giolito trying to win another series. Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Imagine that. It all comes down to this. OKC and the Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton will play. And while the Thunder are now 7-point favorites heading into this one, and just so everybody wants to know the number, home teams are 15-4 in Game 7. Joe math, 79%. Did that in my head. I did 15 divided by 19, and I got 79.1 something and change.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Headlines, they are brought to you by Eastern Mass's leader in drain cleaning and pipelining, Drains by James. Slow drain, clog drain. You need to contact Drains by James today at drainsbyjames.com. I'm Joe Murray.
Start your day.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Work through your day.
What's that thing we do at the end of the show?
And end your day.
I'm not giving you an opinion. I don't know.
Right here. 98.5. The Sports Hub. Felger and Maz are just his pregame.
They've been getting wholesale deals for years.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
I can't believe how much of a banger the first one was.
I think I need.
Unbelievable.
I think I need to stop though.
Just be careful about what you put in there.
Yes, you're right. I need to be. I need.
Yeah.
We need. What do you call it?
You're
Procurement.
cruising for
We
a
need
radio
procurement
cruising.
on this one, dude. Oh boy! All right, I gotta. So just to back up, Dan. Please, I'm not putting words in your mouth. You feel as though Rafael Devers, although was not a good teammate,
Terrible teammate.
and was essentially blocking everybody out, still did his job. He hit the baseball.
Yep.
He did well at it, actually.
Yep.
But reading the Jeff Passan article, I came away with there's a starting point. I asked you who's to blame. You said the Red Sox. I wanted to blame Alex Cora all year long. I thought there was a time where Cora should have been fired based off all the one-run losses.
I don't necessarily disagree with that regardless.
Like, normally you blow those kind of leads, like you're not managing, you're fired, you know?
Yep.
So there was a time where I was blaming Cora for everything. There was a time where I said, "Oh, Alex Bregman, that's Cora's boy." Like, so I'm not. In the end, I think it's Breslow. I don't think he's delivering good messages. I think he's got the ear of the owner. I think this move only happened because they got out of the salary. So, just you mentioned Manny years ago. They put Manny on irrevocable waivers where any team in the league could have picked up his contract and they didn't.
Right.
So, like, that was their, like, all right, Manny, well, and nobody wanted Manny.
And here's the thing. If you read the story and read all the stuff about it, they were very well aware no one was going to pick up the contract. It was a F you to Manny because they knew that he wasn't going anywhere. There was no concern about him leaving. I think they've talked about it openly a few times.
Now, I do think that Pedro, I do think that David Ortiz, I said Kevin Millar to you, there were guys that would sit down with Manny. You know, I don't know if they got to him. I don't know.
They did not get to him.
But they at least tried.
Yeah.
In this case, David Ortiz is definitely making it. I don't know what they're doing right now. David Ortiz, my boy, I did a nice little event with him.
That's right.
We're buddies. I love his sweet slugger blunts. They're great. They're outstanding. I'll tell you another story. But anyways,
That's not fair story. Okay.
But he had last year at the Winter Wonderland thing they do. Basically, him and Pedroia were like, the guys don't reach out to us. They didn't say names. They just said guys aren't, they don't reach out to see how things are. Ortiz reached out to Devers, and yesterday on Instagram Live showed the texts. He even FaceTimed him with no answer.
I saw.
So, like, he's doubling down because people are going after Ortiz now. Is like, oh, like you were the Ortiz used to bitch about not getting RBIs. And remember to Francona? Francona would be doing a meeting, and Ortiz would be like, hey, Tito. Like, it wasn't always perfect for him either.
He was an a-hole at times, too. Like, people forget
Especially
that.
when he struggled.
Yeah, like, do you remember the year he hit, like, was it, like, 200? Or,
It was, he
breaking
turned it around.
The bullpen phones and all this stuff.
You're right. In the next year, they won a championship. So, like,
100%.
he had his struggles, too, where people thought he was done.
100%.
And he probably needed some. There was not people supporting.
Nope.
But nobody could do that for Ortiz in that locker room. And you mentioned it. I know Lester was there, and there were other guys. But it's just weird that the Red Sox are doubling down on how much of a jerk this guy was and how much they wanted him gone. Just again to bring up Cora. Ortiz tried to talk to him. Cora went out and tried to meet him, and he didn't respond. And Passan at least wrote that was kind of common. Like when he got away, he got away. People tried to get to Devers. They couldn't. The owner flew to Kansas City to talk to him.
I get it.
Nobody could get to there. No, I'm not. This isn't me defending the Red Sox.
Yep.
It's just the fact that Cora also told him to throw his glove away. Cora's Bregman's boy. I asked Gaz the other night if this was a Alex Cora thing. Like, hey, we need to be better defensively. We need leaders here. Was this something that maybe Cora orchestrated and ownership was on board?
I think that's
Joe. It's a Joe theory, no doubt about it.
the Bregman signing or just getting Devers off the field.
The Bregman signing would coincide.
I mean,
they kept saying Bregman would play second, and they wanted Christian Campbell to play second.
Yeah, I mean, of course, the Bregman thing was freaking like. Of course, the Bregman thing was freaking Cora. Like that, it's very obvious that was Cora. There's no doubt about that. He was the driving force behind the Bregman signing. I mean, I think that anyone with a brain in a sense understands that's the case. But it doesn't change anything else that's gone on. I mean, it doesn't change the fact that yes, Devers was an a-hole, but he was still ultimately your best hitter. And to hear Breslow say, ultimately there's a real chance that we're going to win more games than that. I'm like, come on, man. Seriously, how much do you guys think that this really affects the room from a bat to a bat? Like, just be realistic about how much guys' energies in the room, to be real 2025, affect their on-field performance. It's just not a big thing in a big room.
Do you think anybody was affected by it?
I'm sure there were people
do you
affected.
think that there's...
Yes.
No, but did you see anybody on Instagram or on Twitter, hey, Rafi, we loved you, man? Like,
of course not.
we miss you.
They didn't like him, I'm sure. Okay, Jaden Daniels was universally hated at Arizona State. Hated. They all hated him. There's a video of him when he left to transfer to LSU of them cleaning out their locker, talking crap about him, saying this guy sucked. I'm sorry. Did Jaden Daniels not just have the best rookie year of all time?
All time.
Okay, so my point is this: just because a group of dudes doesn't like you 1 year doesn't mean anything to me.
The Giants love him. They hugged him.
Okay.
He doesn't know these guys are all hugging him and loving him.
No one, when you win games, no one cares. And I promise you, if the Red Sox had turned it around and were winning a ton of games, I'm not talking about just 9 games. I'm talking about consistently winning games. All of a sudden, they're rivaling the Yankees for first place in the AL East. You want to know what? No one would have cared anymore. This stuff goes away because winning cures almost everything, unless you're the Patriots going 14-2 every year and not winning a Super Bowl. That's about it. Outside of that, winning cures all.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it anymore.
Real quick, Dan. Is it fair to say that the Red Sox signed a deal to a guy they didn't really know? Or they knew who he was, gave him the money because they blew it on Betts and Bogarts. And, like, Dan, I have no connection to Rafael Devers. Me personally. I liked him because he was chubby. He was smiling. He was a good hitter. He sucked in the field. He was horrible. And this isn't a smear. I still think they're a better team with Rafael Devers. Where I'm going with it is the Red Sox signed a guy to $300 million. And after 2 years, realized it wasn't who they thought it was.
Okay.
And they got out. And quite frankly, the fact they got out of the entire contract and got some pieces back, around the league, scouts think it was a pretty good move.
I think I disagree with the scouts.
No,
disagree with
Dan, of course everyone's going to back moving on for $300 million
there
player.
There are a whole bunch of general managers saying, I don't know what the hell the Red Sox are doing.
Oh, yeah, I saw
there's
that too.
I saw that too. Like, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what they're doing. You don't get guys like Rafael Devers growing on trees basically that are homegrown developed. It's just not something that you commonly get in the sport. To move on from one of them for literally pennies on the dollar, 15 to 25 cents on the dollar is astonishingly bad. and then have a Zoom meeting where you're saying and claiming you're going to win more games without him, when you're depending on basically rookies to now run your lineup. It's astonishingly stupid. It's tone deaf, and it continues to make me think that this organization and the ownership doesn't get it. Mm-hmm. Doesn't get it.
No, I think I know what it is. It's not that they don't get it.
No, they don't.
They don't care about it. They don't care about
ownership doesn't care, but I think the general manager cares.
Okay. I'll tell you that. Yeah, I think Breslow cares, and he looks like an idiot. And he's been blowing people out.
And I was a Breslow guy. I was a Breslow guy.
I remember you specifically tweeting out that you liked the moves. I mean, listen, Crochet's a good move.
Bregman
was a good move.
Yep.
Chapman, right? Say what you want.
Their offseason additions
Wilson's
have been
great out of the bullpen.
They've
everything.
Pretty much, they had a phenomenal offseason, right?
Yeah.
They still didn't win games. Rafael Devers was the best hitter. So if you have a phenomenal offseason, all the guys you brought in are phenomenal, your best hitter is being your best hitter still, where is the actual problem with the Red Sox? It's not Rafael Devers. It doesn't take a whole hell of a lot to figure this out. And that's my big frustration with the team, the fan base, everyone who's kind of following this. It's the guys who were here previously who still suck. That's the problem. And don't tell me that Rafael Devers was making them suck last year and the year before that and this year. I mean, that's ridiculous. And by the way, they're still not going to win games without him. He actually literally forced them to lose yesterday. Rafael Devers is the reason that you lost the game yesterday. And not because he was bad. So I'm so sick and tired of this whole, the Red Sox will be bad. Honestly, this state has gotten so soft. This region has gotten so soft when it comes to just their athletes. Okay? Seriously, bring me the a-hole. I'll take the a-hole. We all wanted Alex Rodriguez a few years ago. Everyone remember that? Everyone liked Manny Ramirez. David Ortiz, A-OK. Everyone loved the Randy Moss trade. Anyone say no to Randy Moss when they traded for him? No? Everyone okay with going 17-0 in the regular season? I'm sorry, Kevin Garnett. You guys like Kevin Garnett? He okay? Was that cool? Seriously.
Corey Dillon.
Corey Dillon. Just go down the list of guys that Patriots and Celtics and Red Sox and everyone who's won with. Okay? Brad Marchand, a-hole. You guys okay with him? No one wanted to trade him at the deadline. What is going on? When does it now become we don't want David because the a-hole was mean and didn't do what the Red Sox wanted him to do? Oh no. Everyone was super happy when Chad Ochocinco came to the Patriots, even though he used to run his own routes in Cincinnati, and everyone knew it. Everyone knew he used to run his own routes. He didn't listen to the route tree or the play call. Everyone was happy to have him here, even though he sucked. Like the consistency from 10 years ago when the Red Sox and the Patriots, when everyone was winning, and now when the teams suck outside of the Celtics, pretty much the teams universally suck here, and now everyone has become so soft about their athletes.
And can I bring up another one?
Just soft. The Kobe gift, just soft.
Can I give you one more?
Yeah.
What is the main topic with the Patriots at camp right now? Who?
I don't know.
It's Stephon Diggs.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Stephon Diggs, another one. Yeah. But here's the thing.
I just doubled down on your take.
So here's my thing.
Like the Patriots essentially can either have a good wide receiver or they can they can fail his physical and not pay him.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to win? Or do you want to just carry the a-hole?
Steph Diggs kind of sucks now, right? I think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna be nearly as good as those people.
I still think he's better than anything they have.
Yeah, 100%. But like compared to what people think he's gonna be, like he was not great last year, even before the
in the 8 games though. His 8 games were better than the 17 games of the
100%. So Joe, I was on with you. We were doing a live podcast that night that broke, right? We were in here. We were talking about the visit and whatever, and I said, bring me the a-hole. I still want Steph Diggs. I don't care. He might not be great. He's still better than anything you have. Guess what? Bring me the a-hole. I'll take Steph Diggs. And the drugs and all the other crap that goes along with him. I'll take it because you want to know what? He can play football. Mm-hmm. It's getting absolutely ridiculous.
No, you know what it is?
I want the talent.
Do you know what it is? Quite frankly, the owners are trying to take over the sport. But think of the NBA. The players dictated where they wanted to go.
Yep. They still do to a degree.
No, it's not soon enough, these Supermax guys aren't going to be able to move.
Well, I know because they're getting paid an absurd amount.
And
of
like
money.
Durant isn't going to be able to just say, "I want to." He's got the no trade.
Yep.
But they're not going to be doing that anymore.
Well, no,
You know?
but the reality is Durant's a 1-year contract. So if he says, "Okay, I don't want to go to Minnesota. You're going to trade me to Minnesota." Great, I'm walking after a year.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
And yeah.
So Minnesota knows that's a 1-year
So
deal.
maybe there's still some guys with that type of control.
Kawhi Leonard's a good example of that. Didn't want to go to Toronto. They
That's
traded
right.
Toronto.
Yeah.
He won. He said,
He
"Okay,
won.
see ya."
Yeah, see ya. But they won.
They won.
It was clout right there.
Right.
It's. I think the owners, especially in football, are taking over, and I think in Steph Diggs' case, it's whether they want to pass that physical or not.
They passed that. I mean, look, pink drugs, whatever. Pink, yeah. What's that? What Tulsi,
pink bag of
whatever it
drugs.
is. Yeah, I'm out.
Bag of drugs.
Oh yeah. That's an AL song right there. The Steph Diggs, Pink Drugs, Boat. Type it into an AL song. Yeah. Make it a summer banger.
I think you're onto something,
Yeah,
Dan.
boating music.
Where here, things were so successful for a long time because the winning kind of cured everything. And now when you're not winning and you have the guys, you trade them away because you don't like your culture.
And
So,
that's
like,
the
what do
thing.
you want? Do you want to win or do you want good culture?
Bad teams blame culture for not winning. That's what bad teams and bad
And that's why you
organizations
hire
do.
managers and coaches to, like, work through that.
Yeah.
Didn't work for the Pats last year. Missoula's
Shocking.
The
but knowing
team
that.
kind of struggled because of their coach in that case. The Bruins,
I mean, the Celtics just weren't as good as people thought this year. That's the
they weren't special.
Yeah, they were not
I thought
special.
they were.
Nah, it happens. We're all wrong.
Pats and Franklin, Pat.
Oh, geez, you guys, man. There's so many things I want to say. I'm a Bills fan. You're going to love your Steph Diggs for the first 10 games,
Yep.
right? And then he's going to burn out because he's old. You're right, Dan. Hey, good to hear you back on the radio, Dan. You're really smart and good. I'm so good to hear. Hey, I got a question. I got a problem with both of you guys. Do you guys ever get to Saratoga? Because you never talk about it.
I did,
I think it's
Yeah,
the
I went
best.
last year. Last day of the year.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, well, listen, go back.
Yeah.
I'm doing Jim Dandy weekend with all my people. I've been doing it since 77. I think it's the best takeout there, man. So fun. Everybody's great. Hung out with Rick Pitino at the bar last year. Just what a good
So
time.
it's what,
Good
the
people.
first Saturday of July is what it is, Jim Dandy?
The Jim Dandy is July 26th.
6th, okay.
So it's
That's
the
late.
end of July.
All right.
And every year I do it with my guys because we know it's always the Kentucky Derby horses, right?
Yep.
And then you see then you go to the Travers. So I did both last year.
Yeah.
And anyways, well, thanks for getting me on.
Oh,
And,
no, I love Saratoga is a beautiful town.
So much fun.
I had friends who went to the school there.
my sister went there.
And,
Skidmore.
Skidmore.
My dad went there and my sister went there.
Wow.
So I know the area pretty
But
well.
walking around that area, man, is absolutely beautiful. If you want to visit, though, there's hotels galore. You can Uber.
Yep.
The food's great. Good bars. Yeah.
Couple
And
casinos.
Oh, yeah.
that-
But I love that little, it's like what is that breakfast joint? Uncommon Ground. It was so good. Oh, my God.
Oh yeah. Hey, so I got a funny story. So at Travers Day last year, right? I'm walking past Ciro's and I picked up a wallet. It was the son of the owner of Vava.
Wow.
I'm not sure if you know the horse Vava,
Yeah,
VAHVA.
Yeah.
And I pinged him last night. I'm like, she's running at 10 p.m. at Churchill, and he was all fired up, and they won. And I woke up. I'm like, so happy. And his son, he went to UMass. But just, you get to know all these random people that you just will never meet. And it's just it's a great take. Dan, get there.
It's an absolutely great take, Pat, and I appreciate you. It's funny, next year the Belmont will be at Saratoga again.
Is it really?
I thought about going this year, but I just feel like that would be
So
I don't want to call it a money grab, but like it'd be sweaty.
I can't because I have a conflict that weekend. But I would if it's really there next year, I'll definitely go.
It is, yeah.
Okay,
I don't know what the
I'll
date
definitely
is,
go.
but it's because they're doing work at the Belmont Park.
Gotcha.
All right, we got a break. 617-779-0985. We're here till 2 o'clock today on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
like John Henry, the whole John Henry going to Kansas City thing, by the way, I said it at the time that Breslow didn't do his job. He didn't do his job.
Yeah.
And so when Henry went, from what I heard from ESPN Deportes, was that he went and talked to them, and he didn't like the communication. Henry stayed over. The next day, they had breakfast together. And he was talking about how basically, like, if you don't appreciate me, kindly trade me. And they kind of reiterated, we do appreciate you. And, so Devers was under the assumption that they were trying to put things behind him, but he didn't like the fact that they asked him to move to first. He did say that he would move to first base in 2026, but he was coming off the shoulder. I'm not making excuses for Devers. I'm just trying to be realistic in his case that he's coming off the shoulder injury. He didn't have the surgery. He was out of shape. He could not play third base.
I agree with that.
And so I think he looked at it as like, well, if I'm going to try to play first right now, I didn't have any time to prepare for it. The manager told me to throw away my glove, like throw my glove away. So like, in his case, they asked him to be a DH.
But let's put it like this: if you ask Manny Ramirez, right? Manny was hitting, left fielder. He was
Manny came in a right fielder. If you don't remember, they moved him to left
because he couldn't play right,
and he did it.
Okay.
I don't think he wanted to, but he did it.
If they said, Manny, we need you at first base, what do you think he would have said? Right. All right. So,
Boom!
There you go.
That'd be like a Heisman pose.
Okay. So the reality was that they kind of took their best player and they jerked him around. Now, I think if you're getting paid that much money, obviously as a fan, I say, dude, grow up and go play the position. Who cares? You've already been paid. You're never going to need. What happened in 2025 is not going to matter for your next contract, if you even get a next contract, Rafael. Who cares? That's the reality. But a lot of these guys view it differently. The players' associations view it differently. That's the reality of these situations, and it sucks as a fan. But if you understand the sport, you understand how that's viewed. So when you're jerking around your best player, regardless of how you feel, he is your best hitter. At least let's say that. Your best hitter, this is what happens. And you traded him. The other big problem is, I don't care what the anonymous scouts say. You traded him for pennies on the dollar. That's the reality. You traded him for pennies on the dollar.
Should have heard.
And it sucks.
Shaughnessy this week was like, the Red Sox ownership want to tell you that this was a baseball move.
It wasn't. There's no baseball move here.
No, because he sniffs. He's sniffing it out, and then he goes, "Oh yeah, right now you got a bag of balls back. Like maybe the guys or something, but right now it's a bag of balls."
Okay, I think it's more than that. I think you got some legitimate players.
I don't care about the players, to be honest with you. What they got back, I don't care. I do like the fact that they got out of the contract and got a return.
I don't like that part because again, now we're back to the Red Sox spent money and then got out of it during the regular season.
Oh no, they washed their hands of Devers, right. and now they're running them through the smear.
No, but again, they spent money in the offseason. Everyone said, good job for spending money.
And now they got
then during the regular season, they said, goodbye money, and they got it off the books.
Yes.
They didn't spend any money.
So realistically, Dan,
they actually got out of more long-term money than they spent. They are still the same cheap bastards they've always been.
Ooh.
But Dan,
they won 4 championships. Haven't you seen what they've done the last 24 years, Sam Kennedy?
Again, there's a reason that Liverpool fans hate them. And now what are they doing? They get rid of Rafael Devers. They bring in Florian Wirtz, who's going to be one of the most expensive midfielders in the world.
Spending money.
Okay?
Imagine if they traded Salah.
They're going to bring...
Just imagine.
Sell Salah. You don't trade players in
sell.
Yeah.
But imagine.
Well, they almost did. They almost didn't pay him. He was on an expiring contract, and the only reason they paid him was because the fans were going nuts. Effing pay the guy. I mean, they had a couple guys like that. So, Dan,
okay, yes. You're following my breadcrumbs right now.
Yep.
They only signed Devers because at the Winter Classic, I was standing outside.
Lost their minds.
I was outside when it happened because I was trying to talk to Chara and they wouldn't let me. But I saw Henry. And the fans were like, sign Devers. It was like a big thing. And then they ended up doing the deal. He was pressured. They were pressured to sign Salah too.
Yep.
And by the way, the Liverpool fans were like, get this guy out of here. I'm curious.
They still hate him.
I'm curious what the Pittsburgh Penguins are thinking right now.
They hate him too. Everyone wants this guy gone.
Did they win? Did they win?
Who, Liverpool?
The Penguins? No, I'm saying Liverpool's
well,
won.
Liverpool won.
The Penguins were champions. The Red Sox. All to your point, all these teams were champions.
Well,
but now they don't like the poison in the locker room.
Well,
now
Liverpool just won the title. Liverpool
saying,
just won the Prem.
And now they just spent the money on.
And they
literally
just
paid Devers.
Yeah, and they already signed. So they let their right back go. Trent Alexander-Arnold is widely considered the best right back in the world. He didn't want to re-sign. He wanted to move on to Real Madrid. They didn't sell him. And they ended up spending money and buying another replacement who's a very good player. Is not as good as Alexander-Arnold, but they replaced him with a very good player. And they're going to bring in another high-paying striker. It looks like they're probably going to pay for Alexander Isaac or one of those guys. And they're going to bring in another high-paying striker. So Liverpool is spending all the money that the Red Sox are supposed to spend. So now here we go again, where John Henry has to decide and choose where he can spend money. So they sell Rafael Devers. Now Liverpool can buy players because they no longer have those financial commitments. It's time for John Henry to sell one of these teams. That's the reality. And until Red Sox fans get up there, stop buying tickets, stop going to the games, tell him to go F himself constantly, stop praising them for trading guys like Rafael Devers.
I agree.
This is never going to change.
I agree with what you're saying here. This is why I wanted to ask you. Realistically, Dan, if we're just talking recurring revenue, like real, you're into the finances. If we're talking recurring revenue, meaning don't have to invest, but every month you're making money.
Mm-hmm.
Does Fenway Sports Group make more money with the Red Sox, recurring revenue, or Liverpool?
I'd say probably Liverpool right now. Yeah, I mean,
and that's recurring revenue.
Yes, yeah. I mean, again, the Red Sox ticket sales. I mean, the tickets are what, like $5?
Like in general, Liverpool's the answer.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about like they own Fenway. They own Fenway Park. Like that's a museum for them.
If the Red Sox were good, I'd say it'd probably be arguable. But the Red Sox are not good, and they continue to not be good. And over and over and over, here we go. Like if John Henry and that team spent money now, the way that things are financially, the amount of money that goes into things, if John Henry and that team spent money like they did back in the mid-2000s or even the early 2010s, I think the Red Sox they probably wouldn't be as much as Liverpool, but it'd be pretty damn close. Okay? Now, it's not even going to be close because, again, they keep bringing in high salary guys, okay? The Garrett Crochets, the Alex Bregman, which Bregman's probably going to be a free agent next year anyways, Joe, so that's not going to matter. And they bring in, they sign Rafael Devers. Well, then they trade Devers. My guess is Bregman's going to walk, and he'll probably be one of the highest paid free agents again next year, okay? Will they re-sign him? No. I mean, it doesn't take. I'd be stunned if they re-sign him.
Can I ask you another question about this?
Sure.
And this is why I'm actually interested. If the Red Sox want to sign somebody, really all it is just adding to their payroll.
Yep.
If Liverpool wants to buy, sell, acquire, you have to
buy the player and pay the contract.
So that's what I'm trying to say is aren't those inflated numbers? Like
massive investments in players. So it's a much different process.
But you still think that they're profitable even at when the Red Sox got Dice K, to give you an example, they had to pay the fee. Yep. And then he signed his contract.
It's the biggest league arguably in the world. It's not just it's England, which is, just basically the United States who pays attention to baseball. I mean, obviously there's some people outside, but for the most part, it's the U.S. The Prem is worldwide, so it's not just England. It's everyone in the world.
When you
Africa,
see these numbers,
Asia,
they're stupid.
United States, right? So it's a ton of people buying merchandise and jerseys, and tickets are absurd, and et cetera, et cetera. So no, there's a much bigger investment and a much bigger revenue stream from the players, but there's also so you're getting more from the player. You're also investing more. You have to buy the player, and then you have to invest in the player. And so for them, again, like Liverpool just did, they let Alexander-Arnold walk for free. It doesn't happen that often, but sometimes a lot of these guys do. Alexander-Arnold would probably be worth, arguably $100 million, probably maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on I don't know exactly what his valuation would be right now, but $100 million US, right? Something around that. All right, in terms of selling him, they didn't sell him. They let him walk and decided to keep him for last year. He walked, went to Real Madrid. Then they reinvested like 60 million British pounds or whatever to sign the guy they just did. So now, that they got rid of the salary, Joe, for free, but they had to spend the acquisition money, and then they had to pay the guy. And probably it's going to be somewhat of a similar salary because salaries in that sport are going up.
Like, what's Yamal?
Right. Okay. So
what do you think Lamine Yamal's worth?
Again, he's worth $1 bajillion.
Probably.
Barcelona will never sell.
Billions?
No. But
high millions? That kid's 17 years old.
I would say right now he'd probably be worth. Messi at his peak was probably worth like 500, 600 million pounds. I would say Yamal right now with his projection probably wouldn't be peak Messi, but would probably be 350.
What about
just
Mbappe? What's
Well, Mbappe went to Real Madrid for free. Did the same thing. He left PSG, went to Real Madrid for free instead of PSG selling him. His valuation, because he's older, he's in like I think 27, 28. His evaluation would probably be, in that same £100 million region.
Not to bore people with this, but Devers was $300 million, and all it was $30 million.
Just money. That's just money.
That's it.
Right.
No investment. No anything else.
Yep.
Where it is kind of sad if you think about it. This guy has multiple assets.
Yep.
And really, Dan, I think it comes down to reallocating the money, right? Like if are they going to keep the $285 million that they saved in the deal? Because it's hard to sit here and tell you that they're going to spend it. It's hard. We've talked a lot about this, and not to confuse people, but I do think that the Liverpool stuff's very interesting because it's a lot of money.
Yeah, just to give you guys right now an idea, right now Liverpool is at 148 million pounds per week in terms of salary. Now, I don't know if that's been updated with they just sold a guy, they just sold a defender, and they're bringing in, obviously, the guys we talked about, Frimpong, they're bringing in Wirtz, so I don't see those guys listed. So that's pre those guys, that's what the number is right now. Pre those guys. Again.
So that'd be like 190, million? 140 pounds? They're
going to be, right now, that's 148 million pounds right now without Wirtz, okay? So that includes Alexander-Arnold, who was walked for free, so that includes him, but that's without Wirtz, that's without Frimpong, the guy they just brought in to replace Alexander-Arnold, and they're going to end up bringing another high-salary player. They're going to be close to, my guess, is probably close to or above 200 million pounds by the end of the year, which again is significantly higher than the Red Sox salary. That's just the wages. Joe. So again, it's ridiculous.
So 200 million pounds in American money is $270 million.
Okay, so there you go. They're probably going to spend something around $270 million just on salary for Liverpool.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Let's take a call. RJ's on the Cape. RJ.
Hey, guys, what's going on? Dan, it's refreshing having you back because you're kind of a contrarian like myself. I'm definitely aligned on a lot of the things I agree with a lot of what you have to say. But on the Devers thing particularly, I'm sick about it. I think this is like the fifth or sixth time I've called in about it, to be honest. But again, I really want to hear what you have to say about this part of it. Not a lot of people are talking about it. What infield is better? Devers at third, Bregman at second, and Story at short, or Bregman at third, Story at short, and Campbell at second? I think it's wild that the team thought that Campbell was a better second baseman than Devers was a third.
They put it into a computer.
It all stems from this.
No, they put it into a computer, and they said that Campbell with Devers at DH and Bregman at third was their best lineup. That's the article from Jeff Passan.
Yeah. I mean, I think RJ, what really happened here was they thought Campbell would be able to hit at a well above average major league level. They would have some struggles early on, and he would be able to hit.
Instead, he did that in
April. And then now again. This happened to Jackson Holiday, right? He got called up. Yep. He had some success. Then all of a sudden he tanked. He went back down to AAA. He worked on his swing. He came back up. He had a lot of success. Mike Trout, again, I'm not saying that this kid's going to be Mike Trout. Mike Trout, same thing, called up, had some success, struggled, went back down, came back up, became Mike Trout. All right. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm not freaking out about that. But yeah, I do think it is a little bit frustrating that, a lot of people, I didn't think Campbell's bat was going to be ready. I thought his fielding was actually better than his bat. A lot of the minor league metrics for his fielding were actually considerably better than the scouting reports
because of range
among his fielding.
And their fielding is now about range more than
in the minor leagues, his actual, and forget about the scouting report. Okay, his actual defensive statistics, a lot of stuff that people use for defensive statistics were actually better than people were talking about. I thought he would be a better fielder early on than a hitter. I was wrong. He's a terrible fielder. He's terrible. Now he's not the worst fielder. I think he's dead last in defensive runs saved, which is a extremely flawed stat in my opinion. But nonetheless, he's last. So if you want to say he's one of the worst fielders in baseball, fine. I'm not going to sit here and argue semantics with you. The problem is he can't hit right now. And there's a lot of holes in his swing, and he can't hit the off-speed stuff, especially, Joe, which was the big scouting report of him in AAA. He could hit the hell of a fastball, but a lot of chase the off-speed stuff. We saw with Xander Bogaerts when he came up, right? Couldn't hit the off-speed stuff and chased a lot of it outside.
You said Pedroia, too.
Pedroia is another one. Okay. So I'm not out on the kid, but, you couldn't project that. Your projections couldn't project that Christian Campbell would struggle early on. I think anyone with half a brain who watches the sport and isn't some Red Sox bobo just going, yay, best team ever. I mean, seriously, I think anyone with half a brain kind of figured this is going to happen. He's going to struggle at points. So it's frustrating that we are where we are now with this.
Well, I apologize that I compared football, which is soccer, to MLB.
Why?
Well, it's hard.
In what way?
I just think that we're talking different kind of money here. I think the chump change.
We're not. Right now in America, what is the highest paying sport
in America?
I think it's still baseball is the highest.
Baseball is one of the only most guaranteed sports.
Right. I think the NBA is pretty close. So I don't have the exact.
I would say individual salaries is probably basketball.
Right, but I'd say the average salary is probably baseball. Right. Mm-hmm. I think, in my opinion, soccer is a little bit higher than them, but it's not. Well, all that football.
I'm sorry. How about this, Dan?
Not all.
I'm sorry I introduced it.
Fair enough. Okay. I introduced it. I was going to bring up Liverpool. It's my fault. Blame me.
But you know what, though? The Liverpool Red Sox angle
is a legit thing.
It is.
Since he's bought Liverpool, the spending of the Red Sox has directly lowered. It's a cause and effect. It's not hard. Anyone with any sort of financial background can tell you, yes, he bought A and B went down. It's cause and effect. It's not that hard to understand what happened here. He invested in Liverpool. The spending with the Red Sox went down. They promised that wouldn't be the case. They lied to you. Shocking.
Okay. We'll go to break. Very late. Sorry.
As per usual.
We brought actual, statistics, mathematical figures in pounds into the equation, Dan, where now my brain hurts.
Big mistake. Such a big mistake.
So I'm sorry if your brain's hurt. We'll re-rack. We'll realign. We'll get back to an alignment and a better infrastructure here on the other side. And when should we play the Lifshatz Casino song? When do you think, Jeff? Should we do it now or should we wait?
I still haven't got it. I don't think you texted it to me yet.
I texted it to you. No?
You texted it to me.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, maybe I sent it to the wrong guy.
I'll text it to you, Jeff.
All right.
12 o'clock. 12 o'clock.
Let's do it at noon.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a break. 98 Found the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub. It's Joe Murray, Dan Lifshatz. We're here. Our YouTube's on fire today. All the regulars are in there. Ein Bein, your boy. Brokerage Babe, D. Chop Johnson, Carrie Ann, Riz.
Oh, I love my guy Riz.
Riz hanging out in there today. And then there's just a bunch of other people I don't know.
Was it Riz who compared us to
The 700 pound
700 pounder sisters? Yeah.
You got a chuckle out of that one.
That was legitimately one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my entire life. See, I don't get offended by that. I think that was funny.
Real quick, can I give a shout out to the New England Free Jacks on their third consecutive Eastern Conference championship?
Nice. Do they spend money?
They do, Dan. I believe they're on our HD2 station, I believe.
Nice.
So yeah, that's spending money.
They spend money.
Do they spend it on the team? I don't know.
Better than.
I've taken that game in. That's pretty good, actually. I don't.
Yeah.
Nah,
that's not for me. But
well, no, but let's say you want to take the kid. You go.
Oh, yeah, no.
You park your car. They have a big little fan fest in the parking lot.
Yeah.
It's fun. You can go watch the game for a little bit. It's a nice sunny day, and then head out.
Yeah.
It'd be a nice quick pit stop. How about that for you?
Gotcha. Yeah. So my kids too. She just she doesn't watch TV. She has no screens. We don't do that. But she gets to watch 1 hour sports a week with me if she wants to, and we haven't done it in a couple weeks, whatever. But you know what she loves? She loves baseball, which is really crazy. She loves it. Absolutely loves it. And
does she have a favorite player?
No, she's 2. She doesn't know what's going on.
Maybe she likes the guy.
She just cheers no matter what happens. She's just happy. But she loves baseball. She loves sports in general. So I know in a couple of years I'm taking her all the games. Well, it won't be in Boston, but yeah.
Someone just asked me, Joe, in or out on Euro Trip? Absolutely love the movie Euro Trip.
It is the stupidest and my favorite movie of all time.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but when we worked on the morning show, I was here one day, and on the couch was Tom Green.
Really?
And I was like, what the hell?
I think I remember
Tom Green doing here.
Yep.
But yeah, he was here.
Well, that's Road Trip.
Euro Trip was what?
He was here to feed the snake.
No, what was Euro Trip?
Euro Trip was with Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yeah, sorry. I mixed up Euro Trip and Road Trip.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Euro Trip is one of my favorite movies of all time. If it shows you my sense of humor.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
I mixed up my trips.
Okay.
I'm tripping.
You're tripping.
I'm tripping. Justin, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
I just have a thought on the NBA Finals, if I may. I think that the team that turns the ball over the least is the one that's going to win. And whoever plays well defensively down the stretch is the one that's going to come out on top. I just want your thoughts.
Thanks, Justin. Well,
we'll get into that.
I'll get into this quickly. I'll save this and I'll go to break because I know people want to get on. I have been crushing SGA. His fourth quarters going into game 4, Dan, I was killing him.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yep.
I didn't hear anybody else doing it. Just me. just me.
Joe Murray's Island.
I was on my own. And this is what we could call it, a swing and mistake. But he ended up scoring 15 fourth quarter points in the next game and broke the record for most points in a fourth quarter.
And won them the game. Yeah. Now, he wasn't particularly good in Game 6 again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, again, they were also also getting blown at DF out.
They didn't play in the fourth quarter.
I did not.
Do you agree with that, by the way?
What?
Just sitting the guys in the third, late in the third, get ready for Game 7.
Down by 30, yeah.
I agree, too.
100%. You don't want a Tatum situation. You don't want that.
But you did say this. I'll give you credit. You said Jalen Williams will be the difference in the series.
100%.
And he won him a game.
Yeah,
that game in particular.
I'm still stunned that Indiana is playing as well as they're playing. And by the way, all the Miles Turner hate from me, because I love Miles Turner. Everyone who gave me crap,
better than Chet.
Miles Turner for years. Just take your fist and shove it where the sun don't shine. Because you were all wrong. Miles Turner, really good player, and has a real chance to become an NBA champion.
Chet, really good player too, huh?
Chet's really
Who's
good.
Who's doing better?
Chet's real. No, I think Chet's still the better player.
He had a horrible game last game.
Miles Turner is a winning basketball player. It can't just all be superstars. You need winning basketball players. By the way, how's Rob Williams looking these days? Who's the better right now, Rob Williams or Miles Turner? Just saying.
Bob?
Could add both. Would have been perfectly fine having both.
Bob's and Lawrence. Bob.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Good to talk to you. Theo Epstein I know he's part of Fenway Sports Group. I don't think he's really involved in the day-to-day operations. I would love to know what he thinks about this trade.
I actually think he'd probably support it because, he had to make some pretty big decisions when it came to Nomar. I just don't want to compare this trade to Betts or Nomar or anything because those guys were at the end of their deal. Like, the only guy they really got out of that they dumped a contract on, maybe David Price, Chris Sale.
The Carl Crawford contract. Carl Crawford's the one that I compare it to the most. But Crawford was terrible, so that's the problem. Yeah. Adrian Gonzalez is probably the best.
He was good.
Comp,
good player,
right? Yeah, good player.
Good player. Bad in the locker room. Was going up the back door to snitch, basically.
Yeah, so to me, like he and Crawford are probably the two best comps, and neither of them are great because Gonzalez was good, not great here. Devers has been great
overall.
Yeah,
215 home runs for guys before 29 years old.
That's great.
Only Jim Rice and Ted Williams have done that.
That's great.
They're both Hall of Famers, Dan.
He's a great player. Like people,
Ted Williams and Jim Rice.
People forget how good Rafael Devers is. Like they just think,
noticed it yesterday off that opposite field home run off Brian Bay.
They lost the game because of him.
This hour of the Sports Hub has been brought to you by our good friends over at Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. You have another hour to go, and Dan Lifshatz went to a casino and then found out he wasn't allowed.
True story.
And we have a song about it, so we'll hear that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Red Sox 3-2 losers yesterday to the Giants, and well, it was Rafael Devers who went deep off of Brian Bayo in the game. And well, at this point, they lost 3-2. And they're going to play again today. Lucas Giolito will be on the mound. There's a Game 7 tonight. NBA, who's going to win the championship, the Thunder or the Pacers? Just remember, the Celtics swept the Pacers last year. Headlines, they are brought to you by Veterinary Urgent Care Center with 8 locations in Mass and Rhode Island. VUCC offers compassionate, convenient, high-quality care 7 days a week. Walk in or book an appointment at veturgentcare.com. Veterinary Urgent Care Center. Urgent care for your pet's urgent needs. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update soon.
To us, Boston pride runs deep.
I'm a Bostonian!
This is Boston's home for sports.
Bow, bow, bow!
98.5, the Sports Hub. Around here, we call them the Joe Murray pre-party. It's Felger and Maz, afternoons. Right now, Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
Casino in Connecticut, but he got banned. He called up the commissioner. He asked him what the deal was. He said, I don't know. And then he told the story on the radio, and they laughed at him, 'cause Dan Lifshatz got banned from the casino.
That's unreal.
Back here on 98.5. Let's listen to more. Is there more?
He's a gambling man. They couldn't understand how he got banned. They thought it was a prank 'cause he wasn't drunk and he wasn't acting up. And then he told the story on the radio, and they laughed at him 'cause Dan Lifshatz got banned from the casino.
And then there's a solo. So I typed it on an app, Dan Lifshatz banned from the casino. And this populated in under 30 seconds.
It's crazy.
Now, I didn't put in a state or anything. And I didn't put in the radio either.
Yep. Probably pulled my name from like Google or whatever.
Crank it.
'Cause he wasn't drunk and he wasn't acting up. And then he told the story.
So do they assume that usually you're drunk and you act up?
I don't drink anymore.
No, I know, but
I don't drink anymore.
See, I know what I would like. Dan Lifshatz got banned from the casino again. Would have been great, you know?
No, wrong state. It got the wrong state, but
state.
still pretty good.
All right, so if there's one thing about the show that we've done over under, we're very transparent. How is that? That's the word I'm going to use.
Very
transparency when it came to sports books. I know that we had many here at the station, and I'm sure some are still here. And I hope nobody's offended. It's just transparency. That's all you can ask for in this world.
Yep.
It's just to be honest about sports books. Everybody can download some sort of app and make bets now legally. It is controlled, as we talked about earlier, but essentially Dan Lifshatz went to go cash in some tickets at a casino, and when he showed his ID,
we can name the casino. They deserve it. I'll name it.
I'll set it up. Dan went to a casino, tried to cash in his tickets, and basically was told he wasn't allowed.
Yep.
And then you had to call the commissioner, like the song said.
I called the commissioner of New Hampshire. Yep, that's correct.
And they told you a certain time that you can go and cash your tickets.
So kind of.
Go ahead, Dan.
Okay. I've been going to Gate City Casino for a long time. Joe and I, before they were Gate City, they were Boston Billiards. Joe and I did a live podcast there.
Had a great relationship.
We had a really good relationship with the guys over there. They always treated us extraordinarily well. So I've been very loyal, Joe, even though they are not, Boston Billiards anymore. I still go there. Even though the Nash is open, which is even closer, there's a few other places that you can go. I've always gone there because I've been loyal. Okay, that's the reality. I went there a couple weeks ago to cash some tickets. They stopped me at the door. They told me I was not welcome in because they scan scan IDs. It's the one place in New Hampshire that scans IDs. Okay, as far as that I've been to, they scanned my ID. They said I was not welcome in. They had security kind of surround me and told me, I asked them if I could cash tickets at least. They told me I could not do that. And they gave me the head of security's number. I'm not going to say his name on the air, but I have spoken to him. He told me I can come in at any time. I have to give him a heads up, and I can come in any time and cash my tickets, but they will have to escort me to the window and escort me out. I asked the guy at the front, who was telling me this, is this a specific Gate City thing, or is this a New Hampshire-wide ban? I had known someone that this had just happened to a couple weeks ago. I work with a guy in the betting community this had just happened to, as well as another guy.
That's what I was going to bring up. Is Dan hasn't been singled out.
This is not just me. Yeah,
there's
not
a
just me.
community of people that this is happening.
This also relates to our friend CT Betts because you'll find out why. So, anyways, I asked them. I said, "Is this a New Hampshire-wide ban or is this just Gate City?" They told me that this was a New Hampshire-wide ban, and they told me to talk to the security manager. I had known someone else that this happened to, so I called him. He's the head of gaming in New Hampshire. I talked to him. He told me that despite what was told to me by Gate City, this is not a New Hampshire-wide ban. This is only Gate City, and what is happening is DraftKings, if you are limited on the app at all, at any sort of capacity, will send your information to every local DraftKings retail store, and they will say, here are the limits for players, and the general manager of that outlet, retail, whatever, casino, will then choose whether or not they want to allow you in. As of right now, Gate City is the only one that is banning players. I asked about our friend CT Betts, who is also banned from Gate City as well. So it's not just me. I know a few other people that have banned. If you are limited at all in the app, Joe Murray, there is a very good chance you may not be allowed in the Gate City casino.
So can you just tell me what the limits are?
I don't know what the exact limits are. My limit basically on DraftKings is I can bet like $5 on pretty much anything. I can't bet like more than that. Most stuff I can bet like under $1.
Got it.
Yeah.
So it's a controlled betting.
Right.
Situation.
Limiting. They limit players. Now, everyone's either limited or if you're terrible, they don't limit you and they want more of your money. So, they're telling you you're not limited, Good for you. Either hide your action really well.
Well, you handled it the right way. I'll tell you that. And they were transparent. They talked to you.
No, they were cool, but They didn't arrest me. They told me if I did come back, they would trespass me though.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yep.
Going with this now. So books now have limits. And I know that different states have different rules.
Yep.
In Illinois, for example, they passed a 50-cent tax on every bet. So for those that don't understand, if you want to, let's say it's a even bet, $25 will get you back your $25.
Yep.
But on most bets, it's minus 110, and a lot of these bets, Dan, on the books are highly juiced, meaning minus 135, minus 140, even 50, 60, whatever.
Sure.
Well, you're going to pay that juice. So essentially, what they do is you'll pay the money, but they give you less if you win.
Right.
On top of that, in Illinois, they're adding a fee.
Correct. And I can give you a little bit as to why. So lawmakers in Illinois are doing this. I would expect this to become the norm across the country, Joe. I would expect this to become the norm. It won't be right now, but it will start being something that happens. I would expect Massachusetts to adopt it within the next 5-10 years. I expect New York to adopt it. They are offering these lines because of the taxes that these states are having to pay for the operators. So, New York is heavily taxed, etc. this is how they are getting money back from the players because the taxes are going up, right? The taxes are going up. This is how. So now FanDuel and all these other sites are building in taxes when you make a bet. You immediately lose 50 cents right off the top. Oof. So that is.
And 50 cents can be a lot based off whatever.
Depending on how much you're betting. Again, like to plenty of guys I know are betting $10.
It's half a point. I mean, almost.
It's expensive. I mean, again, like that's 1/20th of your bet right there that you're losing off the top. So it's incredibly frustrating for a lot of people. And long term, I do think that this is going to be something that is that's going to continue when you are having all these states.
This hasn't hit. It hasn't.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's
not
going
yet.
to.
New York, I think, is the next one on the list because they have extremely high tax rate, and Massachusetts eventually will probably follow suit. And because Massachusetts taxes everything. It's Massachusetts.
Just to give you that, Bill Spiros posted this week from Bookies. In the month of May, the handle was $655 million.
Yep.
From the Super Bowl winnings, they won $82 million. Their hold was 12%. That's probably because of the Celtics, right? And then the taxes that they paid, $16 million.
I mean, again, this is going to continue. It's going to get worse. This is not going to get better. This is going to get worse because states are requesting more and more tax revenue, and they need to, find a way to make it up. So when the state like Illinois requests more tax revenue from these situations, they build it in. So that's what these sites like FanDuel, et cetera, they're building it in. So this is going to continue. It's going to get worse across the states, and every state's going to be different. But I think it's only going to get worse, not better, unless it's a new state. And again, I'm not trying to be rude here, but the southern states are going to be better than the northern states. That's going to be the reality because look at the tax differentials. Okay, Florida doesn't have an income tax. You know what I mean?
I was going to say about Florida. Is betting legal in Florida?
Yes, they only have one operator.
Is it through Seminole? I actually don't know who it's through.
Yeah, so they're through Hard Rock.
Seminole. Yeah,
right.
Okay.
Yep. So yes. So but again, they only have one operator. So again, you can only bet one place. If you get limited, you're in trouble. So again, there's a lot of people who are going to go back to the black market of gambling. Not that there's a lot of people. I mean, again, a lot of people are still betting on the black market of gambling, but this is going to continue because either you're going to start to get limited, or you're going to have to pay for your bets, or there's going to be a combo of things. So all these states that wanted to legalize this are going to start falling out if they don't start fixing their tax issues with this. And I do think,
ponies, right?
And by the way, what is going to continue to happen is they are going to this means they're going to limit players who they don't want because they're going to continue to be growing tax revenue. So the players that any sort of profitability at all, they're going to start taking books away from you. So even if you're not the sharpest guy and you're making money, watch out. They're going to start limiting you because they don't want to pay the taxes. They don't want to lose you beating them for money and lose the tax money on top of it. So they're going to start limiting you. This is going to come full circle, and this is going to be an issue.
You mentioned black market. May I just mention Vegas, please? Because when I went to Vegas, it was beautiful.
Yep.
I put in my money. I got back what I knew what the VIG was.
Yep.
It was a beautiful thing.
So, again, Vegas is great, but there are a lot of places out there that will limit you.
Yep.
Okay? Like, I'm not going to call out any specific places because I know I do business with a lot of them, but the only place that will not limit you there is Circa. Circa Sports, the only place that will not limit you. Now, you will have limits. There are limits. You can't just bet anything you want on anything, but they will not limit you. You will have the same limits as everyone else, assuming you are any sort of good.
I was going to say, by the way, Circa, I didn't have a chance to go in when I went.
Yeah.
Beautiful building, man.
Yeah.
I went to the dispensary across the street, and I went, damn. Circa looks beautiful.
Hey, Jeff Benson, who runs Circa, the sports book there, is not a close friend, but a good friend, and I like him a lot, and I think he's very transparent and fair, and there's a lot of people who disagree with that. I think that the fact that they offer even just remotely fair limits to people is good enough for me because it's hard enough to bet now. It's too hard to bet.
And not for nothing, everybody wants to stay on the strip, right? They want to be on the strip. Circa's just a little bit down. What, probably 5 miles, maybe 2.5. 5 miles.
They're 10 minutes off the strip.
10 minutes, okay.
Yeah.
So beautiful over there.
I love Circa Swim.
Jeff would have loved the consumption lounge, though.
I'm not surprised by that.
Oh my God, I don't know if I told you, but I had to. I was going to try to go to Fremont Street, and it just never happened.
Really? It's right there.
Oh, my God. No, it didn't work out.
Okay.
The Mike Tyson Undisputed knocked me out.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Real quick, someone asked about Bovada.
Yes.
Just some of the differences. Do you have any issues getting paid out by Bovada?
Okay, so a couple of different things. One, if you live in Massachusetts, you cannot use Bovada. You are banned from using Bovada. There was a cease and desist sent to Bovada, so you cannot.
Okay, when did that happen?
You cannot. Yeah, a couple months ago.
Okay.
You cannot use Bovada.
I was not aware of that.
So if you do that, you will actually are breaking the law, and you will get in trouble on that one. So that is clear. If you are betting on Bovada, one, you'll get limited pretty quickly. If you have any sort of understanding of how it works, you'll get limited very quickly. And Bovada does absolutely have a reputation for not paying out. Now, they've gotten better, 100%. They've gotten better in terms of their payouts, their reputation, but they are still bad. I won a parlay with them years ago in college. It was for a decent amount of money back then. I won a parlay. They told me no. They gave me half of my money and said, go after yourself. Don't come back. Now, they did let me open an account in the past couple of years. I was able to bet there. I was limited very, very quickly. And it's not a place I use very often because they limit you very, very quickly there. So if you're in Massachusetts, I would suggest if you're looking for offshore, look someplace else. Please feel free to DM me. I will gladly tell you the places that I would use, but I would tell you that's probably not
just
the best.
DM Dan. Yeah.
I'll tell you where to go. I would not suggest Bovada personally.
The only thing I like about Bovada, if like when I'm on the air, I search it, they have all the bets right there.
Sure, yeah, no.
They have like a buffet of bets.
They're great. And here's the fun thing. I know lots of people have like 40 different Bovada accounts. Put it in your dad's name, your mom's name, your wife's name, your sister's name, your kids, whatever.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. That's what everyone does. But like, again, so they won't have any issues with that. It's just a pain in the butt to get them to pay out and do all sorts of stuff. That's all.
So for the people who don't bet or don't understand betting, this is like when you were a kid and you get the Columbia Records. Remember that, Jeff? You'd get the Columbia Records.
This is before my time.
And you could like
10 for like 1 cent.
Exactly. But to know how Dan just said you put it in your name, your friend, your sister. Well, that's what we would do. And then, therefore, we would get all the brand new CDs in different names. So, for those who don't understand the betting talk, it's no different than getting the Columbia 10 CDs for $1.
Yeah. Except it's a lot more advanced now because if I sign up today on DraftKings in my wife's name, they'll recognize the IP in my house and they'll immediately ban you.
It's all tracked.
Yeah, it's all tracked. You need like 7 phones to bet now, any sort of professionally, which is a pain in the butt.
All right. Well, that was our bankrolled segment.
But for all the people who call me a liar, no, I did get banned at Gate City. That is 100% true, and that is the case. So
I can validate Dan on that. He wasn't the only one.
And I was not banned in New Hampshire yet. So I'm not banned in New Hampshire yet. There are some people who are banned in the whole state. I'm not one of those yet, but I am banned at Gate City. They will not let me in, and they told me if I try and come back without notifying them first, they will trespass me.
Okay. But they did say you can call them, and they'll let you in.
I have to contact the security manager, who then will set up a date for me to have security escort me to the window to cash tickets.
Which you should be able to do.
It's just weird. It's just,
I know,
just let me come. But if you don't want to let me bet at the bet sports, fine, I get that. You can't even let me bet like blackjack. That's ridiculous. Like I don't have an edge on you in blackjack.
Those have limits too, by the way.
Of course they do.
So
But again, I don't have an edge on blackjack.
We don't.
That's not a thing.
We do not have an edge on blackjack.
That's not a thing. So it's like that. That's my frustration. So that's what I don't understand about not letting me in.
All right, there's our gambling talk, everybody.
There you go.
Here's our song again. Dan?
Wrong state.
They thought it was a prank because he wasn't drunk?
I thought it was a joke.
Jacked out of line.
I thought they were screwing with me. That is 100% true. I did not think it was legit. But this all comes from DraftKings. And by the way, if you think this is going to be DraftKings, it's not. Caesars does the same thing.
Get ready.
FanDuel is going to do the same thing. And New Hampshire is the test state for this. So guess what?
Live free or die.
It's all going everywhere. It's going to happen everywhere now. This was the test state for it. This is going to happen everywhere now. They already implemented in New Jersey. They can't ban you from the casino, Joe, but they can limit you to $100 a bet in New Jersey. That's the law there. So they've already implemented in New Jersey too.
We'll go to break to AI Dan next.
They thought it was a prank because he wasn't drunk and he wasn't acting up. And then he told the story on the radio and they laughed at him because Dan Lifshatz got banned from the casino.
You're listening
listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. Joe Murray. You're
No, orange and blue. Oh, yeah, that Columbia House, let me tell you. All those CDs. Dan the Thunder Taker. Pascal Siakam. Well, he has a chance to beat the Thunder twice.
Yep.
He's one of just 10 players ever to reach 100 points, 50 rebounds, 20 assists, 10 steals, and 5 blocks in an NBA Final Series. Did you know that?
He's been unreal.
The Thundertaker, Pascal Siakam, has a chance to stop the MVP, SGA, Chet Holmgren, and the Greens, or the Williamses, excuse me. Can the Pacers, with no star player, defeat the Thunder on the road in a Game 7? And I ask you this, Dan Lifshatz, as I'm talking like Rex from Rex Kwon Do. Would the Indiana Pacers be the biggest upset in history winning the championship tonight?
History, no.
Well, I would like your history.
In my lifetime, yes. In my lifetime, they'd be the biggest upset I can think of.
Who are bigger?
I mean,
like, I think the Pistons in 04, but they had Chauncey Billups and Ben Wallace, who were Hall of Famers, and Rip Hamilton.
Unbelievable team. They were a cohesive, unbelievable team. I mean, I don't want to compare this team to the Pistons. The Pistons were like an elite defense.
I thought Dallas beating the Heat was huge because
Dallas beating the Heat was a really big one.
Jason Kidd, Dirk Nowitzki, Hall of Famers, right?
Yep.
So it's like, who on this team is that? I mean, if Siakam wins too, we have to have the conversation. But he's an all-star. He's an all-star in the league.
Siakam is
not a superstar.
Siakam is not a superstar.
But he's an all-star.
Sure, yeah, he's a very good player.
So if they win, he's the best. He's the best player on a championship team.
I mean, it's still Halliburton. Halliburton's still the best player on that team. Like, he's still the engine that makes everything go.
Mm-hmm.
But Siakam would be. I mean, Siakam would be really, really good in that guy. He's really, really good, man. He really is. He has been phenomenal this series. I really thought he would struggle with the size of Holmgren and Hartenstein, and he hasn't at all. If anything, he's thrived in the situation. He's been phenomenal. He really has been. I can't say enough about him and McConnell. And even the game that Nembhard had was ridiculous. But I mean, McConnell's been so good in this series. Arguably, their second or third best player. It is surprising how well this Indiana Pacers team is playing and how well they're coached. The coaching matters. I was always a big proponent of coaching. The NBA does not matter. Give me the players. But and again, this year especially has been the reverse of that.
Raptors over Warriors in 6.
Yep. Now to be fair, that's the year that Durant tore his Achilles. Then Clay tore his ACL, and Iguodala got hurt as well. I mean, they were really bare bones in that series. I think maybe it was Sean Livingston also got hurt in that series too. Like they had a ton of dudes hurt in that series. They were it was like Steph, and that was it. And I mean, it was pretty brutal.
I've heard people say the Blazers in 77, and again, I wasn't around then.
I wasn't around, yeah.
But they did beat the 76ers with a great team there. The Rockets beat the Magic in 4 games, but again, that was Shaq and Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the greatest players of all time. So it's, I mentioned the Pistons beat the Lakers in 89 after.
Also before my time, but yep.
I'm trying to think of like an upset, Dan. I think this might be it, dude.
I mean, I can't think of any other upset in my lifetime in the NBA. Obviously, in the NFL, we've had a few. I think
the Giants beating the Patriots.
The Giants beating the
Patriots beating the Rams. That is a 14-point underdog is huge.
Huge one.
Huge.
Yep. No one.
But it's a one-gamer though. This is a 7-game series.
How about this? The Patriots coming back from 28-3 in game.
Yep.
Absolutely absurd.
But again, that's one game.
Right. Exactly. It's one game.
This is a 7-game series.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of hockey of any two teams that were ever like this badly mismatched either. I think it's arguably one of the biggest upsets of all time in professional American sports. Arguably, if they win. I mean, they were massive favorites in this series. They were massive favorites. I think they were like minus 715 or something like the open, and I think they closed like before game one, like 650 something, maybe a little bit shorter, it was 620. I can't remember the exact number on it, but it was, again, it got down to 5 and it came all the way back up. There was some reinvestment in that. I think it closed like 650, 620 on that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a massive upset. I think the 2011 or what is it, 2007, Patriots were still like 14-point favorites, I think, in that game, which is like minus.
Oh, I think it might have been.
Minus
was it that? I thought it was less than
I think it was 12.
Well,
It was 12?
okay, whatever.
Okay,
no, the Patriots being down to the Rams was far and away.
Yeah.
I can't remember another underdog that won like that. Maybe we can look into it, but I think for the NBA, I'm sure there's some people that will say the Blazers years ago in the 70s, which I don't remember. The Pistons were on their way to becoming a great team, so I'm not going to call that an upset. Dallas was a one-off.
Yeah, 12 and a half was the number, Jeff.
Yeah.
Which I'm trying to find the exact money line in that one.
I feel like it was 750.
minus
440. It was 440.
Minus 440.
So maybe it was 01 was 750. I can't remember what it was.
I'll take a look.
Pats in 01, I just remember people betting on it that night and winning big money. Could this be the biggest upset in NBA history or even 7-game series history? Tonight, if the Pacers, I'm rooting for the Pacers. You know why? Because the Celtics swept them last year.
The Pats closed 14.5-point favorite, or the Rams closed 14.5-point favorites against the Rams,
and they lost by
the money line was minus 620.
620.
So
okay.
this would be in that realm, right there.
Huge upset.
Yep.
We do have some breaking news. Let's do it, Jeff.
This is breaking sports news.
Powered by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
On 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Well, the Phoenix Suns are trading two-time NBA Finals MVP Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, and the number 10 pick in the 2025 NBA Draft. They'll also receive 5 second-round picks. Kevin Durant stays in Texas and goes to Houston.
It's not a huge return. I mean, Jalen Green's a very good young player. Dillon Brooks is money. Terrible. No, he's just making money. Terrible player right now.
I like Jalen Green because he's a lottery ticket.
It's Jalen Green and the 10th overall pick for Durant.
Yeah.
And the 10th overall pick is
whatever.
Borderline lottery pick.
Whatever.
So the return is not big.
Yeah. If I'm Houston, you have to give up Jalen Green because he's this hit or miss player, right? Some nights he's like Jalen Williams. He has these great nights, and then sometimes he's not great. He's a lottery ticket. Could him and Booker play together? Probably is what they're looking at. But for the most part, this is a 1-year deal. Durant goes to Texas. He went to Texas. He wanted to go to one of the Texas teams. 5 second-round picks. Dillon Brooks, which is nothing. Jalen Green's the lottery ticket.
Dillon Brooks is they're making Phoenix take salary.
Yeah.
Making Phoenix take salary. That was a terrible signing for them.
I will tell you, Dan, this bolsters Houston. Big time.
I mean, they're the favorite in the West now. They're the favorite in the
Şengün, him, Amen Thompson.
Best who, in my opinion, I'll say it again, I think Amen Thompson is everything that people think that the torture chamber is. By the way, Lou Dort, ass. He sucks. Don't ever tell me that guy should win Defensive Player of the Year, Julian Edelman. That guy sucks. He has been torched in this series, man. He has been arguably their worst player outside of three-point shooting. That's all he does. He has been terrible defensively. But yeah, Houston, Fred VanVleet, they're going to move Reed Shepherd into probably a more important role next year.
But he can be a good shooter off the bench if they need him.
Yep. Amen Thompson, I think, is arguably the best defender in basketball. Jabari's probably your starting now a power forward.
That's fine. He should be.
And Şengün and Steve
incredible.
Adams.
Yeah,
and Steve Adams.
And they just re-signed Steven Adams.
Yep.
And they also re-signed Ime Udoka.
Yep. And again, I don't love moving off Jalen Green. I think that's the best young player that Phoenix has got. I mean, Phoenix is literally Booker and Jalen Green, and they're probably going to move on for Bradley Beal now.
Let's pause. But real quick, Dan, I'm going to throw out a Jeopardy Joe question.
Yep.
Would you rather be the Celtics or the Rockets? Well, Talk about this one on the other side. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Kevin Durant has been traded to the Houston Rockets, went to school in Texas, said that he only wanted to play for a Texas team, and he'll be going to the Houston Rockets. And just Jalen Green did sign an extension. I thought he was on his rookie deal, but they did sign him. Dan, you said he makes $33 million a year?
Yeah, $33 million this year, $36 million in 2026, $36 million in 2027, and a player option after that. So, yeah.
I asked a question. I'm going to pose it for next season.
For next season, okay.
Next season only.
Next season only.
Would you rather be the Rockets or the Celtics?
The Rockets, no doubt. No doubt. Not even a thought process.
Who do you think will be the favorite in the East right now?
Indiana. I don't know who else it would be. Maybe Cleveland. Might be able to argue Cleveland to me. It's going to be Indiana, Cleveland, or Orlando. I mean,
you think the Desmond Bane move is?
I mean, I think Bane is a huge addition for them offensively.
Better than Pope.
Offensively, it's massive for them. It lets them do a lot offensively. I think defensively they're still phenomenal. I don't think that changes anything. I think he adds. I mean, their offense was just horrendous. So I think he adds a lot to them dynamically, catch and shoot threes, etc. I think he's a really, really important piece for what they wanted to do, and I think it instantly makes Banchero that much better. They needed a guy offensively who can do that. Again, assuming Jalen Suggs comes back and he can give you still what he's done defensively, you can hide Bane's defensive issues.
So for next season, just to kind of break this down for Houston, they have, as you mentioned, Fred VanVleet, who's won a championship with the Raptors. Amen Thompson's one of the best young defender players in the game.
Yep.
They basically trade out Dylan Brooks for Kevin Durant. And they move on from Jalen Green, who's been a decent piece for them, but been inconsistent.
I think he's been very good. I think he's inconsistent. He's still really young. I think he's going to be very good. I mean, he's only 23 years old. He just turned 23 in February. Like, he's still a young kid. I think that, he was very valuable in the regular season. I think that he'll get better.
Their best young player is Şengün.
100%.
And he came from Turkey, I believe. And that's how they got him there. Houston, to me, what'd they go? They lost to the Warriors on the last second play.
Yep, in 7.
Was that without Steph? No, he played in that game, right? Steph? Because Draymond had that great play on Şengün to win the game.
Yeah. No, sorry. They lost. They did not lose to Golden State. They lost to Minnesota.
No, the Rockets.
Yeah, didn't they lose to Minnesota?
No, I thought. No, didn't Draymond have that great defensive series?
Am I wrong? Maybe you're right. I think you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, and then they lost. They lost to Minnesota.
Yes,
then Minnesota lost.
They lost 4-3 to Golden State, and then Steph got hurt in the Minnesota series. I was combining the two. Sorry. Yes, that's why Minnesota smoked them 4-1.
I feel like Houston needs a shooter.
They did. They got one. They got Kevin Durant, and that's what he's become. He's become a spot shooter now.
One more shooter.
Well, again, the lineup right now: VanVleet, who can shoot, Amen Thompson, your defensive stalwart, Durant, Tari Eason, and Şengün. Plus, you have Steven Adams off the bench. You're gonna have to find one more guy who can really.
Green will be a big.
You're gonna have to find another guy who can be an important part of that rotation for shooting. Yeah, you got to find another shooter there.
Is there any value to dump Hauser on them?
I think they would love Hauser.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is there a way to? It helps the Celtics with their salary.
Again, they have a ton of draft picks. Remember all the picks they have from the Harden deal. So they have a lot of.
And the
assets
Celtics have had at least been linked to moving up in the draft. I just don't know.
They had the number 10 pick. It's gone. So I don't think they're moving up this year. But I don't know. I think it would make sense for Houston to have another shooter there. Obviously, I think they probably need another big. I'm going to keep saying over and over again, you need multiple bigs. You need at least 3 viable NBA bigs if you want to win a title. Pretty much. You need 3 guys who can pretty much play because you're banking on the fact that that one of them won't get hurt. So,
is Jeff Green again on the Rockets too?
Yeah, but again, he's
with him and Kevin Durant on the same team.
They need another.
How many
shooter
times has that happened?
They need another shooter. They still need another shooter. But I do.
How many times has that happened?
Houston now. Houston went from 15-1 to 9-1 right now to win the NBA title.
Wow. Would you rather be the Celtics or the Rockets? Everybody.
Next year, I would rather be the Rockets. In the future, I'd rather be the Celtics.
Would you rather Ime Udoka or Joe Mazzulla?
Ime Udoka. I mean, if you say Joe Mazzulla, you're lying to yourself. Ime Udoka's probably top 3 coach in the NBA.
According to Bobby Marks, this trade gets expanded for Houston to avoid the first Abram. They're going to take back more money.
Okay. Well, again, I'm sure they'll figure it out. And Jabari Smith is the other guy.
I said Green. I meant
Jabari Smith is the other guy.
I mean, if you look at it between Şengün, Smith, Adams, there's 3 bigs.
They still need. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Well, Smith is a very small 4, but nonetheless, they need another shooter. Is what they really need. Smith can shoot, no doubt. Good 3.
I feel like Hauser would be a nice little piece for them.
They still need another wing who can shoot there. I still know they'll be fine. And again, Durant's going to re-sign now.
That's a big 3.
They're very good. They're very good.
You want to talk about balance?
That's a very good roster.
Jeez. Things just get hard.
They should be the favorites in the West, in my opinion.
I wonder what this does for the Celtics.
They're better than Oklahoma City, in my opinion.
What does this do for the Celtics?
Nothing.
It
just solidifies that the Celtics aren't going to win again next year.
Oh, damn. Nobody wants to hear that.
I'm just being honest. Bro, I thought we were doing
transparency.
I thought we were the transparent show. Are we not the transparent? Did that change in the last hour, 55 minutes, whatever? We're no longer the transparent. The Celtics are not going to win the title next year. Sorry, guys.
All right. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandoilChange.com for 15% off an extra through oil change at Valve Units and Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. Dan Lifshatz is here. I'm Joe Murray.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Shop sweet savings at Whole Foods Market.
Felger and Maz. Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5 The Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Well, breaking news in the NBA. Kevin Durant heading to Houston. Going from Phoenix to Houston. It's for the 10th overall pick, Jalen Green. And Dylan Brooks a part of the deal. They'll also send 5 second-round picks. Houston gets Kevin Durant. And they right now are the favorites next year. Well, unless we'll see what happens with Oklahoma City, but they are now 3-1 to win the championship next year. Red Sox losers yesterday, 3-2. Brian Bale got the loss. Rafael Devers hit a home run. The teams meet again today. Lucas Giolito will get the start. Headlines are brought to you by Cash's Law. At Cash's Law, they specialize in helping those who have been injured, not only from a one-time incident, but a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CashesLaw.com. I'm Joe Murray.
Get the app.
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5 The Sports Hub app. Get the app.
Quick, smelly.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
I asked the question. I pitched it to everybody, but we haven't gotten any calls. But my ex, my Twitter, is going. I asked, would you rather be the Celtics or the Rockets next season? And, next season, Rockets. Durant short term is what people are saying. I want to get into that in a second here. Everybody's being a homer, green teamer. I think Houston, for 1 year, it's a great deal. We should probably talk about the extension a little bit here.
Yep.
Durant can sign an extension that's very feasible that will keep them under the apron. Durant, I believe, he's eligible for a 2-year, $122 million extension. So he can just essentially stay on for the 1 year and go back to free agency, or Houston can sign him at another number. So, is he going to wait the 6 months? Does he just add a couple of million? I'm curious what they do here, but I even though it sounds like a 1 year deal, he is eligible to sign an extension.
He's going to stay there. I'd be very surprised if he moved on. It feels like he was dictating of where he wanted to go, because there's probably a legitimate chance they've already talked to his agent about an extension. These teams don't make trades without doing their due diligence on these things. Now, obviously, in certain situations, like the Kawhi Leonard trade to Toronto, he made a note he didn't want to go to Toronto, and that was obvious. And so
that was a good deal.
It
was what Barnes,
Scotty Barnes, yeah.
Quickly, Emmanuel Quickly, and the picks.
Yep.
That to me, not a bad deal.
No, it ended up working out for the most part, right? It ended up working out for the most part. But the reality is that I'll have to go back and actually take a look at what that trade ended up being, Joe. But they won a title. It was worth it, 100%. But then he walked the next year. But for these type of trades, okay, like Anthony Davis was one, when he got traded to the Lakers. When you make these type of trades, teams usually have a good understanding. We'd like to re-sign you. We're not going to make this deal. We're not going to push their chips on the table if you're not going to be willing to do it, etc. So if Houston's putting in a guy like Jalen Green and putting in the 10th overall pick, my guess is they have probably not a firm commitment, but they probably have we're going to re-sign here type thing going on.
Okay.
Especially because they can now pay him more than any other team.
I asked how could this impact the Celtics. The Spurs missed out on Durant. Now, Wemby and Durant on the team sound scary, but that's a lot of big bodies that are lanky.
Yep. I don't think it would have been a good move for the Spurs.
Stephon Castle still on the table. The second round.
Ron Harper is going to be the second overall pick.
Okay.
Yep. It's going to be Ron Harper.
So I am on the team of keeping Tatum and Brown together.
Okay.
Even if Tatum doesn't play. Does this up the ante for San Antonio to go after Jaylen Brown and or Derek White?
No. I mean, White maybe.
Was already there.
Yeah, White maybe again. I think any team trying to win next year is going to be in on Derek White. I don't think that there's Like I think there was a legitimate standing offer from Houston to Boston for Jaylen Brown. Like I think there's a lot of teams who have put in offers for Jaylen Brown, or maybe not like official offers, but given like a good amount of this is what I would do, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think the Celtics are going to trade Jaylen Brown. It doesn't make any sense for them to trade Jaylen Brown right now, unless they get an absolutely absurd amount, which most teams are probably not going to be willing to do. But I do think it makes a lot of sense for the Celtics to trade Derek White, and I do think that he has now proved himself as a winning contributor to championship or deep playoff runs, and I think at this point, another team will probably likely pay up and take a chance on him. That's a likelihood.
All right, 617-779-0985. Let's talk to JP in North Providence. JP.
The Bankroll Boys are back in town. I got the T-shirt. Bankroll Boys, back and banned. Dan, thank them for that free publicity. Come up with a new podcast or anything. That was the best they could do for you. Joe, I got a shot to go back in and double down for the Red Sox on the over. Do I do it? And just to make it feel bad, I'm heading to the Landing in Marblehead in about an hour. Do I sit outside or inside? Because I made two reservations.
So the Landing's great.
It's getting
I know the owner.
Right,
it's a really nice spot. So JP, next door, next time you ever go down that way, there's a little place, a breakfast joint right next to the Landing called Driftwood. Oh baby.
Okay.
Baby. It is so good. But the Landing's a nice spot. I mean, it's going to be warm today. Isn't there like a heat advisory?
Yeah.
When it's hot like this, I like to eat inside.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
I'm
hot.
66. We don't call this hot. It's whatever. Who had air conditioning growing up? But yeah, I hear you. Outside might be too rough.
It's beautiful over there, though. You're going to drive through a nice little area. Great little Terry's is a nice little ice cream joint over there.
You just described Marblehead as a nice little area.
Marblehead's very fancy.
Marblehead's a very nice little area.
It is bougie, bougie.
We're going just for the muscles. And Joe, I was thinking of it yesterday. My girlfriend had the family reunion, big picnic outing at somebody's house. What do you think she brings to it? Potato salad.
Joe, the worst.
Joe, I had to. I'm sorry. I had to break the rule and went with the potato salad.
How'd it go? How'd it get over?
Was it any good?
Yeah. Oh, she made it. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
There it is.
Was it a hit or not? Was it a hit or a miss?
It was with beets in it. It was fantastic.
Did everybody eat it, though?
Everybody ate that.
Okay, then.
There was tons of food, but I'm thinking, Joe would be so pissed at me. And they had the other thing, the outdoor cooler. They had 3 coolers. One had beer, one had soda, one had mixed
wine.
cocktails.
Yeah.
100% in on the outdoor cooler.
You need the tri-cooler. Yep. I agree with that.
Thanks for covering us
real
on
quick,
a hot Sunday.
if you're on your way home, can I give you a shout-out place? I know you're going to eat, okay? But follow the water towards 1A,
Yeah, we do that.
Okay, Volo Pizza. It's the best Detroit style I've ever had. It's across Mission from the Bay, but you can go walk Linshore Drive. Nahant's right there as well.
What?
Volo.
Mission on the Bay. I'm down there all the time.
Yeah.
We go to Andrea's, the best tacos in the world for cheap.
Boom, boom. Right across the street's Volo. Go say hi to Pina and Tony. They're spectacular people. You can tell them I sent you, and you can have a nice little walk. Tony and
who am I asking for at the Landing?
I don't know who's there. I wish I could give you a guy, but the owner's probably not.
I'll just say the big man sent me. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know if the Landing. I don't know if I'm getting you over there.
That's all right. I'll do it at Detroit. We might go there if we're not today. Wednesday after work, we're going for tacos. Maybe we'll go there to Bolo. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah,
Thanks, Dan.
You got it, buddy. No problem. The Landing's spectacular, though. That's a great little.
Marble had a nice little area. Okay.
It is a very, very nice little area.
Yeah, very nice little
Devereaux
area.
Beach was my favorite, and they used to have a little Lime Ricky stand there. It's gone.
Oh, really?
I was very upset.
I haven't been to Devereaux Beach in years, man.
Love that area.
I
can't afford it, but I love it.
I mean, yeah.
It reminds me of when you go to Rhode Island and there's all those big monument. What is over there? The big house places where the famous people live.
Like the mansions?
Yes, the mansions.
Okay. Yeah.
Who are those famous people again? Vanderbilts?
I mean, there's a lot of different people. I mean, Taylor Swift has one there.
Well, she's. I'm talking older.
Okay, you're talking like the Rothschilds and all.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, the Vanderbilts. Yeah.
People think we're overreacting to the Rockets. Ben's in Groveland. Ben.
Hey, what's up, boys? Dan, I tweeted you a couple weeks ago. I love when you guys are back on the radio together. But it's Rockets year 1 by landslide, and I could even argue Rockets year 2 because Tatum's injury isn't just like a meniscus tear or something like that. It's an Achilles. Like, that is a completely different tissue. I mean, go back to Kobe, go back to anyone with Achilles issues. No matter when it gets wrapped up and finished and recovery, there's still a chance by year 2 Tatum's not 100%, and the roster looks completely different. If you talk about moving KP, moving Drew, J-Rue, in your words, Dan, or moving Derek White, like,
that's right.
That team could look completely different, even though you still have the 2 J's. So Rockets year 1 for sure, and you could argue Rockets after year 2 with Ime, KD, Van Fleet, Jabari Smith, probably in the starting role by then. But I love you guys. Hearing you guys on the air again. See you, boys.
Thanks,
Appreciate it, Ben.
Can we just pump the brakes on Kevin Durant stinks, please? I understand he's hurt. I understand he's not. He's 36 years old. I get it.
7.
He played 62 games last year. He still averaged 27.
And by the way, again, a lot of the games he sat out is because Phoenix sucked last year. Like, you guys, they were barely challenging for a playing spot.
May I, Dan, if you don't mind?
Please, feel free.
Okay, this is remember he got hurt in 19.
Yep.
Since then,
that was the Achilles.
Yes. Since then, 27 points per game, 30 points per game, 30 points per game, 29.7. 26, 27, 27. That's good, right?
It's very good offensively. Yep.
So, Durant thinks he's washed. I'm sorry, what? So he thinks he's washed? The guy averages 27 points a game at 37 years old.
The problem is the games played there. 2020, the 2020. Now again, that was the bubble.
The young guys are going to play defense. Shagun's going to get the ball all the time, and Durant's just going to knock down shots. And Van Vliet's going to run past everybody, and they're going to defend, but not Durant and everybody else. They're going to be really good.
Yep.
Like, let's face it, people. Kevin Durant's now they remove Jalen Green and Derek Brooks for Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I don't care if he's 40, he's averaging 27 points a game on that team. And he doesn't have to play a lick of defense.
Again, he played 75 games in 23-24. He played 62 last year. Probably could have played more than that if he really wanted to. The durability stuff certainly is an issue, but I mean, it's a trade you have to make if you're Houston. You had to get a star there, and Durant makes all the sense in the world. Again, but prior to that, 32 off the Achilles, Joe. That was the 32 year, and then 55 the next year. But they still made the run in the playoffs, yada yada yada. Then he got traded to Phoenix, played 47, etc. So again, like, yes, he's gonna get hurt. It's bound to happen. He's gonna have durability issues. You can only count on him for 60 games, but who cares? So as long as he's healthy in the playoffs, who cares?
Dan, give me the Sun scenario here. They have Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, and my guess, they have Jalen Green, they have Dylan Brooks, they now have Devin Booker. I mean,
they have Devin Booker and nothing else.
They have,
and Bradley Beal is still there, by the way.
Beal is gone.
Who's best friend, by the way? Oh.
Yeah, I know Jason Tatum. They're going to move on for Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
How? They do not. I don't
remember.
Know
he's the only guy. I don't know how
trade clause. I know. I don't know. Well, he doesn't want to be there either. They're going to move on from him. So,
but I'm just saying, how does this help Phoenix? They get out of Durant's deal. That's it.
I think they're just acquiring.
They're hoping that
Jalen Green and the 10th overall pick is the deal.
Okay, it's the 10th pick. But didn't you mention that they might trade Jalen Green now?
Yeah. So again, you're still acquiring Jalen Green. So his value is either as a trade chip or a player, whatever you want to use him. I think you might be able to find a taker for Dylan Brooks. You'll probably be able to find a
How many coaches have the Suns had in the last few years?
Yeah, a lot. What are they?
No, I'm serious. Coach Bud, Monty Williams.
Yep, I think they're on their third coach now.
Okay, and there's another third one now, and then there's a new one. Huh. I think Devin Booker, sorry, bro, get out of there. Get out of there.
He's kind of locked in. I think he likes it there. He's locked in. I don't think that's changing anytime soon, man. He's locked in. Okay. That's the reality there. He's locked in.
Would you rather be the Rockets or the Celtics next season?
There's no doubt about it.
If Durant signs an extension, who would you rather be long term?
Still choosing the Celtics. I'm still taking Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum over the core of Houston, and I'm also taking Brad Stevens over anything else that Houston has in the front office. Now, obviously, I love Ime Udoka. I do think coaching matters more than I thought about in the past, but I think I'll take the combo of Tatum, Brown, and Brad Stevens, assuming that he's going to be here. I will take that core, plus Peyton Pritchard, obviously, the way that he developed this year. I will take those guys in the future over what we've had so far.
I'll say this to our listeners, and for those that are chirping at me about this, my our takes, Dan, chirping at me about our takes.
I mean, if you don't think that Kevin Durant's good, then you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention.
You're clueless.
Yeah, you're
sorry.
not paying
You're clueless.
He's a very different player than he used to be.
Not the guy he used to be.
Prior to the Achilles injury, he was a driver, he was a slasher, he was a shooter. Now he's a spot up shooter. That's what he does. That's my concern about Jason Tatum.
He's not going to play defense for them.
That's my concern about Jason Tatum.
They have other guys that are going to play defense.
Yep.
He's not.
He doesn't need to play defense. They are a very defensive oriented team, okay? They're a very defensive-oriented team. They do not need him to be a lock-in defender as long as he's not terrible, and I do not think in the playoffs he'll be terrible. So, again, I think this makes them, in my opinion, the proverbial favorite in the West, even better than Oklahoma City. We see how much Oklahoma City is struggling with size and defense already.
So, Miami was interested, and it sounds like the rumor was Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, Haywood Highsmith, and the 20th pick. They couldn't get it done.
I mean, it's not close to what Houston offered. Jalen Green's by far the best player.
The only thing, though, is I do think you get 3. The 10th pick is much better than the 20th pick, too. Yeah.
But again,
Jalen Green's probably better.
Jalen Green is the most valuable player of that.
I like Jaime Jaquez, though. He's a nice
but you know what? You can probably move Brooks for something decent. Yeah. I mean, I don't love him.
Imagine Brooks to Minnesota.
A career minus 13.8 career
where would you
wins
send
over
him?
replacement.
I'd send him with Ant.
Brooks?
Yeah, just go with Ant and Rudy Gobert. Just go with them. Send them off.
You're probably going to have to trade him to the East.
The Bucks?
Milwaukee makes sense to me.
Ooh, New York Knicks.
The Knicks, but the problem is they kind of already have those type of guys there. I'm not sure that, and they don't really have any future draft picks. I'm not sure where they're.
Keep them away from the Pacers.
You won't go to the Pacers. Cleveland makes some sense to me.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Cleveland makes, especially
if they lose shooter there.
DeAndre Hunter
or Garland.
Well, yeah. They're gonna lose someone this offseason as well. But yeah, that's the case. But Brooks has been a negative, a minus EV player his whole career. I do think he can be, valuable in the right system.
Dylan Brooks to the Lakers. Someone just said in our chat.
I mean, maybe
Dallas.
Again,
I know.
Those are two teams. Those are two teams that hate each other.
I know. That's why I'm stirring the pot. The good news here, everybody, is Jaylen Brown's not going to Houston. That's the good news. Jaylen Brown not going with Ime to Houston. It's over.
Yep.
It's done.
That's over.
It's out. Out. Jaylen Brown, Houston, out.
Yeah.
So tomorrow when everybody comes on the air, I hope they can say that. Jaylen Brown to Houston, out.
Ain't happening.
That's good news.
You know who makes Spence? You know who makes sense in Houston right now? Makes a lot of sense in Houston, actually. Marcus Smart.
Hey, Washington will probably do it, right? They got 55 picks.
They would absolutely move on from Marcus Smart.
Well,
he makes a ton of sense for them now. You need someone to play, again, another 3-and-D guy. He won't be a pillar there, and he'll have a Doga as his coach.
Do you know who else is on that team that might? I don't know how the money works, but Chris Middleton's also on. Washington has these guys, right? Is Malcolm Brogdon was there too? Yeah. Like they had was that the place to die this year?
It's been in the last couple of years. I mean, that's where the Celtics acquired Porzingis.
Porzingis, you're right.
Yeah, that has been the place to go.
Does this mean Porzingis to Phoenix is off the table too?
I don't know about that. I mean, again, I don't know about that. I'd have to look in the financials.
Well, because Jalen Green actually makes more money than Porzingis. They're not going to do that. I'm just trying to match the money up for Porzingis.
I mean, it'd probably have to be Dylan Brooks.
You'd have to take back. Yeah, you have to take back. Ugh.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But they do it to get out of the money.
I don't know.
Because they'd cut his ass.
That's way out. That's way out of my knowledge space.
Oh, by the way, Jordan Poole's in Washington and Kyle Kuzma.
Yep. No, Kuzma's in Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's right. He got
traded for.
He got sent. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm reading a chat guy.
Yeah. Yeah. No. You chat guy.
Chat guy out.
Chat guy's wrong. Kuzma got traded for Middleton.
He did.
Yeah.
That's right. He went.
Washington has Bub Carrington, Marcus Smart, Jordan Poole, Justin Champagny, Keyshawn George, Alex Sarr, Malcolm Brogdon, Anthony Gill. Yeah, I mean they don't exactly have a ton, but I think they're trading Marcus Smart. It makes so much sense in the world for them to trade Marcus Smart.
You know what? I think the Suns. This deal sucks for them. I'm sorry.
I don't think it sucks for them. I think they'll probably be able to trade Jalen Green for a good amount.
I don't like Brian Gregory. I think he stinks. What do I know though?
Oh, they also have Sadiq Bey, real great draft pick there. Rashawn Holmes, Chris Middleton, Marcus Smart, Corey Kispert, Malcolm Brogdon. I mean, my guess, I bet you they trade Poole, Brogdon, Smart, Middleton. That's again clean house.
The Phoenix Suns have Booker, Jalen Green, Bradley Beal. I know they're going to make moves. It's just how many guards do you need?
I get it. I get it. I do. But
I guess the Magic just made a big move for Kobe White, and Orlando is thinking about, or they're at least thinking about it. Hey, Jaylen Brown's not going to Houston. Everybody, we'll take a break. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to.
wiles. Roll the dice with piles. And if you got the funds, you can come with us. Yeah, you know the bankroll boys are wild. Bankroll boys are wild. And my bankroll boys are up. 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 We only come around to get paid. We go all in until it's all made. We're big ballers in this game. If you know the bankroll boys, then you know that we're paid. And my bankroll boys are up. My bankroll boys are up. My bankroll boys are up. My bankroll boys.
You can do all sorts of things. You can do the chop to this.
Banger.
You can do the fist pump. You can yeet if you want to. Right? Like if you're at the club, you're
Someone cut this. This is ridiculous. Jeff, doesn't this sound like a song to be played
This
on
sounds
like
like
a
something I would have played when I worked at Mix.
or like a Vegas casino, right?
Yes.
Like outside, like when you're just like you're in Vegas at a pool party. Like
Yeah.
this sounds like
This is
a
Vegas
Vegas
pool
pool party song.
Yes.
Yes. While you're betting, that's exactly what this sounds like.
What do they call the pool at Foxwoods? What is it?
I don't know what the pool is called at Foxwoods, actually. I never go to
Liquid
Foxwoods.
Sundays. Do they call it Liquid Sundays today?
Okay, possible.
This would be a Liquid Sundays jam.
So funny. It's unreal how good this song is.
What's better, this or the Lifshatz?
No, this song's better. This song's better. I mean, the Lifshatz one is funnier, but this is like legit good. This is actually a legitimate banger.
What haven't we talked about?
I'm gonna
today,
put this on my playlist for my
All
car.
right, I think I said it to you, right?
Oh yeah, no, I need you to send it to me. You sent me the Lifshatz one, which is funny.
People keep asking what app are we using. Should I even give it away or no?
Yeah, you did, didn't you? You already said it. You said
I
it's
did
Suno
say
Music,
it.
right?
It's the Suno Music.
Yeah. Okay.
And just so you know, the reason why I did this was because we were talking about how the Red Sox had a report about hiring people with HireVue, which is an app, by the way. Listen, I worked real jobs before radio, so like when you go to a job for like, Greenhouse, HireVue, whatever, there's actual software that flags your resume. And they kind of custom. It's no different than customizing some sort of software like Salesforce or whatever.
Yep.
They just customized what they're looking for. Age, are you a college graduate? All that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Well, the Red Sox reportedly have been doing their interviews using HireVue, which I think a lot of companies do, actually. But they are filtering, Dan. They're putting in, we're looking for this, or that. So they didn't deny it. But the reason why I've been using the song, I wanted to make AI songs like, hey, can we just do like stuff? Like if I wanted to type in looking for a GM under 40, that's in baseball. Boom, Craig Breslow. Hey, let's use this guy. Hey. So when I typed in Bankroll Boys gambling, that's all I did. That's the song. The Bankroll Boys are up.
It definitely pulls stuff from Google. So
It has to.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Because they found Dan wasn't upset or drunk.
Which I did say on Twitter. People were asking me if I got drunk or if I got something bad had happened or whatever, and I said no. So that's definitely the case.
And then the one the other night, what I did was I typed in Joe Show in or out musings farts. And then
what's the deal with the farts part?
Well, we like fart stories.
I know, I get it, but like, what was the song with the farts?
Well, the reason why was because last week was the darts competition.
No,
and
I'm
one
saying,
of the
what part of the song was the farts?
Oh, I have it.
Okay, well,
should I play it?
No, off the air.
Oh, yeah, and they were like, it was like, you're in for the food, you're in for the farts.
Okay, all right. Is it good? Or is
Murray's got his musings. You're going to listen to it. I think it was something like that.
Is it better than the Bankroll Boys song or no?
It's more catchy.
Really? That song is about as catchy as it gets.
I think the chorus goes,
All right, now,
are you in or out?
Now you got to send it to Jeff. So now we can hear it.
Here we
go. I got to hear it now. Jeff, on a scale of 1 to 10, how catchy is that Bankroll Boys song?
Oh, like 8.
Yeah, it's a hard 8. I agree with that. That's a pretty good 8. So if it's catchier than that, Joe, that's unreal. I mean, that's.
I will send it to Jeff.
If I might just become a musician now, typing everything on Suno Music.
And you could probably put written credit, right?
I could probably make money just like putting music on Instagram that's just generated by that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, this
monetize those beats, man.
Yeah, there you go.
This was supposed.
Post some bikini pictures too.
This was supposed to be me crapping on AI.
You failed. You failed miserably, man. Miserably.
No, but who would have thought that you found gold?
You found gold. I didn't find it. You found it. You were trying to make fun of it, and you found the gold.
Correct.
It's funny.
I sent you, Jeff. I have sent it to you. I don't know how you curated on the air, but I've sent it to you. Dan, I wrote a bunch of things down to talk to you about today, and we've done none of it.
Okay.
So I'm just going to rapid fire a few things. Drake May got married.
Good for him. Happy for him.
Cool.
Good for him.
Chris Sale got injured. I don't know how he got injured. It was a left rib cage, but did you see him dive for a ball?
He felt that
was the play.
I'm pretty sure that's how he got it. He is frail. He's very frail, man. Very, very frail.
It's very good.
Yep. Very good.
Let's see here. What else do I have? Jon Jones retired. Oh, hot air balloons. In or out?
I saw that video. So I actually went on a hot air balloon with my grandparents when I was younger, and my mom. It was scary. I was young. I was like 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever. But I loved it. It was a lot of fun. But after that video, I'm all set. I don't think I'm going on a hot air balloon for any time soon. I'm all set.
I'm out.
A little scary. I'll just take my grounding. I'm good. I'll sit on the grass.
I've been out on a hot air balloon since The Wizard of Oz. Yeah, like that's how she was gonna leave. Out.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah.
Never ever since that day.
I'm not a big Wizard of Oz guy. That was never a thing for me. All right.
Well, this is the one we did for the Joe Show. We can go to break into this one as well.
I want to hear this.
Jeff Williams behind the mic, Joe Murray, the writer, Dan, the listener. Let's hear it.
Yeah, welcome to the Joe Show. With the host with the most, Joe Skaz. Yes, we are live from the Joe Show. You're listening to the Joe Show. We're here in beautiful Boston, Massachusetts. Guys, you want to say a couple words to the people? You know it's my first time in Boston. I thought the Joe Show was a basketball game, so I wore my 11s. With your host, Joe Skaz, the Joe Show. And I'm your host, Joe Skaz, the Joe Show. And I'm your host, Joe Skaz, the Joe Show. And I'm your host, Joe Skaz. You're listening to the
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
So listen, all right. I was trying to crap all over AI, and now it's turned into just awesomeness.
Speaking of crap, Matt McCarthy just walked in the studio. I wanted to see if he reacted in it at all. Just kept walking.
His name is Dan, and he's not even drunk or something. Hang on. Let's go.
He was trying to gamble at a casino in Connecticut, but he got banned. He called up the commissioner. He asked him what the deal was. He said, I don't know. And then he told the story on the radio.
How did they know you worked on the radio?
They have to be pulling it from Google.
Casino.
And then he told the story on the radio. All I did was type in Dan Lifshatz got banned from a casino. That's all I wrote.
Yep.
I actually put in Yacht Rock, too. Is this Yacht Rock?
Yeah, kind of.
He wasn't acting up. Where'd they get that from?
Gotta be the Twitter.
Oh, God. We're going to lose our jobs over this AI stuff.
I'm moving. It doesn't matter.
Oh, thanks, Dan. Thanks, Dan.
I'm moving. It doesn't matter to me. I'll take the blame. It's
Do you
fine.
think the AI will help our younger demographic,
No.
like 18 to 34? No.
No, we have to make AI songs about like Kevin Durant being traded to the Houston Rockets.
We do have 10 more minutes.
I mean, yeah, it takes 30 seconds.
Isn't that amazing?
It's unreal.
We're doomed, dude. AI. Oh, there was a guy the other night that created an AI girlfriend, and then she ghosted him.
So he
She blocked him, yeah.
You saw that, right, Jeff?
Yeah, he started crying.
Really?
Imagine creating a girlfriend and her ghosting you.
Wow, what a little,
This is what I'm. Yeah, what a little AI bot.
That's not what I meant.
A biot.
A biot.
Oh boy. What else?
We're definitely gonna
Game
get in
7 tonight, Dan.
Who cares? Ask the AI song. Make a song about it, Joe.
Hey AI, who's gonna win tonight? Thunder or the Pacers? The Thunder Taker. So who are we betting tonight? Who are we betting tonight?
I didn't bet anything in this game tonight. I didn't. I'm just kind of owning whatever I have. I have let's see. I bet over 167.5 in the Indiana Fever and Las Vegas Aces. That tips off at 3. That's now 171.5 CLV, which doesn't mean anything. I do kind of like Dallas plus 4.5 as well. I think that number is getting too big. I like the under in the Connecticut Fever game, but the numbers just dipped down way too low at this point. Yeah. So the Connecticut Sun. Excuse me. Apologies. Sorry to Glash. I apologize. I know Glash is gonna be mad at me about that one. He's gonna text me. Connecticut Fever.
Do you know what's funny about this date today that I just saw from Revolve magazine? Limp Bizkit's significant other came out today on this date in 1999. Dude, Jeff is still wearing a backwards hat.
It's not red, though.
It is not.
No,
red.
I had a red hat.
My brother did, too.
I had a red hat. I did it all for the nookie.
Did you? How much did you love Limp Bizkit, Jeff?
I still do.
Still do.
By the way, one of the best bands I've seen live.
When I saw them last summer, it was great.
I couldn't believe how short Fred Durst was and
He's
how old
really
he is.
short, dude.
No, he's like 5'3".
Yeah, he's really short.
5'4".
He's really short.
Mick Jagger also very short.
Oh, I've never seen him.
Actually, every front man
a lot of rock stars are really smaller dudes.
Sully.
Who?
He's like 4'8".
Mm-hmm. And what band does he work? Does he work?
You just offend Joe right now.
Oh, he hates Godsmack with a passion.
I'm aware.
I just think that they. Have you ever seen the Godsmack album cover? Yeah, it was drawn by Lane Staley. I hope Lane makes money off the Godsmack albums. I hope Alice in Chains makes money off of Godsmack.
Do you think he means that? Serious question.
Godsmack was an Alice in Chains song. Did you know that?
I'm aware of that.
Imagine making your band off somebody else's name of a song. It's probably happened before. I like Buck Cherry is really just Chuck Berry.
That's true. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Well, I'm watching this farmer's dog stuff here. You know anything about this food, Dan?
Don't use the farmer's dog. No. I know. My dog is 14 years old. I had to put my other dog down last year, so it sucked. And then my other dog's 14, and he's just eating whatever he can to be healthy at this point. Sadly, I don't use that. Now, we are thinking about getting another dog, and if that was the case, I'd probably switch over to that, but not changing his diet at 14.
So, Dan, I wanted to ask you about this.
Sure.
Okay. Former Boston sports personalities to win a championship within a year of departing. In 2015, Mike Sullivan won a cup with Pittsburgh.
That's a good one.
In 2021, Tom Brady left the Patriots and went to the Bucs.
Lovely. That was just lovely.
In 2022, Mookie Betts, the Dodgers won a World Series in his first season.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. How about 2022-23? Bruce Cassidy won a Stanley Cup with the Golden Knights. Brad Marchand, 2024-25, Panthers win the Stanley Cup.
A-hole. Brad Marchand.
What I heard.
Everyone wants. Everyone wanted.
So, your thoughts on Marchand, and who's the next athlete to leave Boston and win?
That's a good one. I would probably wager it'll probably be someone like Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, Sam Adams, someone probably off the Celtics. They'll probably trade him. If you're gonna be acquiring one of those guys, you're likely going to be going to a contending team. I'll say one of those guys. Bruins don't have the pieces to trade anymore, right? That's kind of over. I don't think that the San Francisco Giants will be winning the title, the World Series.
I was going to say, where's Devers on that list?
I don't think, but you know what? They're very competitive in the NL West.
The whole West is loaded, though, if you look at it.
Yeah, well, not
besides the Rockies.
And the Padres are.
Ooh, the nice little beef between Tatis and, you noticed that this week?
No.
He got hit in the hand, and nice little back and forth.
Oh, no, I missed that. one. No, I did not see that one. No, so I mean, they're competitive in the NL West. I don't want to take anything away. I guess that's a possibility. Also, it's not probably still for someone from the Celtics. Like I think that's probably the most likely scenario. No one from the Patriots left who's going to win a title is any sort of significance. No one.
Maybe like a Davin Godchaux. That doesn't work.
That doesn't count.
There's nobody on the pitch.
No.
There's nobody good.
No. They didn't.
Unless it's Stephon Diggs, who they don't sign.
That's fair. I mean, but still, Diggs not even like a former Patriot. He's just, you know what I mean? He's kind of there right now.
So should we break here, Jeff? Or should we take it all the way, baby?
We can take it all the way. I do have a OKC versus Indiana Game 7 wrap that was AI created.
All right. I want to hear this.
You know what? Let's just hear it.
Yep.
Who we got tonight? Yeah.
All right.
Say it loud for the kids in the back. The Game 7 showdown, a Midwest throwdown. I'm saying say it loud for the kids in the back. The Game 7 showdown, a Midwest throwdown. It's 06 in the 7th round. See me sitting courtside with the sweaty brows. Oklahoma City on the board with the 30. About to take the dub from the boys in Indy. Blue and yellow not strong enough for
who covers the spread though?
Blues and the crowd going cuckoo and the lights going up and down like the bass. And we in the second quarter, Indiana up by 8.
Okay. All right.
Halftime with the guys, fill my cup up with some drink. Red bone in my
got the drink at halftime.
Gotta.
She don't know the half, baby girl, if only you know. Third quarter and it's getting heated up. 52-53, Oklahoma in the lead. Hey yo, give me one more shot of that Hennessy. Take it down like the city, got it rocking in the street. Say it loud for the kids in the back. The Game 7 show.
Wonder who should we bet in the fourth quarter?
So apparently first half is the play, right? The Indiana first half is the
Indiana
play?
first half based off AI.
That's absolutely absurd.
1 point down, everybody watching closely. From the sideline, I can see the smoke rings.
Smoke rings.
One final move from the city takes it home with a win. Goddamn, they did it.
Goddamn, they did it, huh?
And it's getting me kinda in my feels on my knees, shed a tear. I ain't gonna hold you. That shot was beautiful, and now we in the championship. Whole world screaming, you the man.
All right. Well.
Had to cut that because it started swearing at the end.
Oh,
Yep,
it did.
there you go. Yep.
AI started swearing?
There you go.
Well, they got the Hennessy at the half, and the Durant at half.
That's right. Yeah, I got to get.
And then they were smoking O-rings.
Yep.
So, big party in Oklahoma City tonight.
Apparently, even though they're down by 8 at half.
So, just real quick, if it's that easy, right? Is that what we're listening to now on the radio?
Oh, it's got to be close. I got to be some of it.
Like Kendrick Lamar will tell you he doesn't like Drake in the song.
It's got to be.
He'll
some.
strike chords. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But is everybody else just using their voice and typing in some, and then hey, we made an album? This is why I respect Taylor Swift.
I mean, dude, it's so easy.
Wow. I think we just exposed the rap game, Dan.
I mean, dude, it's pretty damn good. Like, pretty damn good.
All right. Anything else before we go home? You got anything you want to get off your chest?
Not really, man. Not really. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have that many takes right now.
Well, congratulations to Drake May, who got married. He got engaged and married in the same year.
That's hard to do.
Very hard.
Yeah, hard to do. We couldn't do that.
But do you think like it's because of the season? Do you think he got some heat about not showing up to a press conference because
No, I don't.
engaged?
I don't think he gives a crap about what anyone in this radio station says.
I agree with that.
And he shouldn't.
All right, Dan. Well, this hour of the Sports Hub is brought to us by good friends over at Valve Lunas and Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com to save 50% off your next draft oil change at Valve Lunas and Oil Change. I'm taking the Pacers plus the 7.5 tonight, Dan.
Okay. I got nothing. I told you I'm on Indiana, Las Vegas over, and the Connecticut Golden State under, and I'm probably going to end up adding some Dallas Wings plus 4.5, which that number is still available. So there you go. All WNBA.
All right, Matt McCarthy's here. I wonder how many AI songs he's going to produce tonight.
I'm very disappointed in Matt McCarthy right now. Matt McCarthy hates Rafael Devers.
Yeah, that's correct. You should hate Rafael.
No, you should not.
He's a
No,
putz.
McCarthy, it's been 20 years.
You're a putz.
Bring me the a-hole, McCarthy. Bring me the a-hole. Did we not do this for 20 years on Felger and Maz? And all of a sudden, you guys all want to get rid of the a-holes because they're a-holes. That's part of the deal.
You're an a-hole too, Lifshatz.
I'm aware you're getting rid of me. I'm moving. It's happening.
I don't want you to go, though.
Too late. It's happening.
you.
Not done yet, but, it's in the works.
For me, Dan, stay.
No.
Stay?
I love you, pal, but no.
Hang out for the next 3 hours?
You don't want to hang out with
No,
Matt?
I'm going to the pool. I'm going to the pool.
The pool, huh?
Yeah, my dad invited me over. He's back in Boston right now, so I'm going to go hang out with him.
Do you get you have an inflatable little thing that you lay on?
Me? Yeah. No. I'm not a floaty guy. I like to be in the pool.
Yeah. It defeats the purpose of the pool. You should be in the water. I don't understand the floaty thing.
Now my kid on the other hand, she loves the little floaty. She likes playing with all the stuff in the pool.
She's 3.
2. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
You're a grown man.
Yeah.
The pool is the pool. You go in the pool.
Maybe I should have a floaty now too. Now I'm thinking about it.
Dan, Matt, would you rather be the Celtics or Rockets?
Next year.
Next year? I think it's a wash because I think Durant is the most overrated player in the league at this point.
Okay.
When was the last time Kevin Durant made a difference for anything?
Well, he averages 27 points a game.
Yeah, when was the last time he advanced beyond the second round of the playoffs, Joe?
When he won championships.
Yeah, long time ago.
Well, he has.
Long time ago.
Not many guys have won championships.
I think this is the best. I think this is arguably the second best team he's been on since Golden State. I think this is a good team.
I do too.
I don't think he has to be the guy all the time.
Matt hates the trade. He hates Devers. What else does he hate? We'll find out.
We'll find out. 3 hours to find out.
I love the world, guys. I don't know, and I love you too. And the AI songs have been great.
AI McCarthy coming up next.
McCarthy, bring me the a-hole.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hey, it's Zoe here, and is your garage door driving you crazy like mine was? Rebel Garage.